Sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of it.
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader is back today. How you doing, Eddie?
Yeah.
Just that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Big bowl of sunshine.
Hold on. We're testing out this mic here.
Oh, is it not working?
That's
How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing swell. How are you?
I'm
you
all right.
look
I'm all
great.
right.
Just looking at Eddie, wondering why he's so chipper this morning.
No, I haven't had my drugs yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll have the drugs.
Those
kick in
help.
here a little bit. Yeah. The Dayquil will kick in here shortly.
Dayquil.
Work it and mainline it.
So how we doing today, gentlemen?
Well, we are living out the plot of King Lear, as I said before. So
Yeah, I've noticed that myself. We were texting about that last night.
yeah. It was it's something I noticed. I used to make funny quips about it whenever Biden was first elected because he wasn't doing awesome when he first got elected. But it really struck me yesterday where I was like, oh, this is literally the case.
He
Our
is
king
losing
is
his mind.
mad.
Well, and my big takeaway is that this special counsel report is doing exactly what it's designed to do. And I'm on this kick where folks think, oh, they made a mistake. And mistakes do happen. Or, oh, they failed to accomplish their goal in Washington. Or, no. Like this bill that just fell apart, all the funding of Ukraine, Israel, the
Yeah.
border. Yeah, it was designed to fail. It was designed, and if it didn't, by some miracle, they get what they want anyway, Establishment Washington. But it was designed to fail.
Seen those bills before.
And everybody raising hell about, oh, this double standard of the way they're going against Trump and how they let Biden off the hook. I'm like, I don't think they let him off the hook. Maybe legally. But I thought this was like the first major knife in the back of Caesar.
Yeah, it's super embarrassing too because it's like the president of the United States in an official document was essentially assuaged as he's just an old man.
Right.
Leave him alone.
Right.
He's a nice old
It's like, you
man.
know, the guy that yells in the Walmart parking lot at ethnic groups, and you're just kind of like, ugh, he's just an old man. Just leave him alone. That was the feeling that the report from the special counsel.
Well, or it's like that guy who went viral the other day going up to a school board and going like, well, hello to all of y'all, you fat, ugly women up here. And the whole room goes, oh, my goodness.
I watched it 85 times.
Yeah, me too. Eddie, have you seen this?
I have not seen that, but that sounds
It's
like I can't wait to see
It's
this.
so funny. It's every new video on the internet that just brings me so much joy is the best thing I've ever seen. So every video on the internet is my favorite thing ever.
I haven't seen that one. That one sounds really good.
We'll get to that one, and there's plenty of stuff to get to today because it was a weird juxtaposition, too, not just seeing Biden and this report coming out, stabbing him in the back. The press conference, then it was like Biden saying, hey, watch me blow myself up like a jihadi. Like it was not good. And you even have now insiders in the White House running to Axios. Again, I think this shows this is designed. This is very much, when it's not just Peter Doocy of Fox yelling these questions, it's every mainstream reporter. You've got an ABC News right up on it, NBC News, CBS. You've got Axios now getting the inside scoop from the White House. I think this is the beginning of the end
So you're
of
saying
Joe Biden.
This is how it goes down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I believe it's intentional as well because you have, again, when have they let him do that? Come out unscripted,
Right.
complete. At the end of the day, whenever it's tired, he's typically enjoying a cup of warm milk at this point, and he doesn't have a teleprompter. He has some notes, and he was actually like shuffling through his notes a few times. It's like they never let him do this. Why now?
Well, and here's some quotes from the special counsel, Hurs, H-U-R. Well, here's what he had to say, that the president had limited precision and recall. He essentially guessed that a jury would likely find Biden to be a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. The quote goes on, quote, based on our direct interactions with and observations of him, Biden, he is someone for whom many jurors will want to identify reasonable doubt. It would be difficult to convince a jury that they should convict him, by then a former president well into his 80s, of a serious felony that requires a mental state of willfulness. So this guy's essentially saying Biden can't be held responsible for crimes no jury would find him guilty because, well, he's not there.
Yeah.
But he could be president.
At one point, he said he didn't recall the date of his son's death, even within several years. Said he had a hazy memory about key players in the Obama administration, especially the Afghanistan debate that was once so important to Biden. And so that brings us to the press conference, because this was making the rounds. It's not going away. But it wasn't just the only high-profile video we're going to play clips from today. I then watched the 2 hour and 8-minute interview between Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin. And I love how everybody's like, don't you believe him? I'm like, yeah, thanks for the advice. I know. But I love how they will point to Putin as the bad man. And it's like, yeah, I agree, but what about how bad y'all are?
Right.
And how much you're screwing us over? Well, but he's really, really bad. I'm like, I agree. That doesn't get the American oligarchs off the hook for their bloody details. So here's what we should do. I think we should go to the press conference first.
I agree.
And then we'll play clips. We're obviously not going to play the 2 hour interview with Putin. And there's so many memes coming out of that. We'll get to that in a second. But the Biden press conference juxtaposed with the Putin interview, things ain't going well in America, friends. Not going well at all. We're talking about a president that really is not in charge, and it plays right into Putin when he says, I've dealt with all these presidents. They don't make the decisions. It plays right into that idea. So, and here's how I would sum up being careful about Vladimir Putin. Because everybody wants to say, oh, he's just a liar. Or anybody I don't like Hillary Clinton, she's a liar.
But she is a liar.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
So is Putin. Yeah. But you have to remember the most effective form of propaganda, and I think this is what the Russians have been doing beautifully in the last, say, decade, is you tell the truth. Now, in a selective way. It's a line I always go back to, is George Orwell's favorite line of poetry. A truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lies you can't invent. So if Putin starts telling, some uncomfortable truths about the American society, its government, the West structure, and how it's governed, yeah, the leaders in the West really don't like that. It's like, stop pulling back the curtain, man. But that doesn't mean Putin is saying these things with great intent and, wishes us love and sunshine and lollipops here in the United States. But I think that is where we're in trouble, is that we have spun up so many lies, and I think so many fishing stories and outright fairy tales about why the West is good in every war that we're ever in, that a little bit of truth, even selectively from a bad source and bad intent, can really unravel things. And I love that. Folks kept saying Putin's always the good guy in the story he tells. I'm like, yeah, the United States never does that.
Hello.
Yeah. So I think we need to look at this more in a cold, rational way. Let's not have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands more die. That might be. For me, this was always, can you practically pull off what you're trying to pull off? And ever since things changed in 2014 in Ukraine, I remember that day when all that went down and they take Crimea and the Russians do. I'm like, okay, this is the beginning of essentially a war. And everybody acted like it's this great thing. Oh, we did it again. It's like the end of the Cold War again. I'm like, no, this is just the beginning of something even worse. So we'll get into the Putin interview. I just find all the wailing and gnashing of teeth and the propaganda to fight the propaganda is, it's like, use your damn brains, folks. Use your damn brains. That said, let's go to the Biden presser. I'm going to play the beginning of this just so you get the full sense. I'm not trying to take anything out of context. It's Friday. We'll go wherever we need to. But this is Joe Biden walking up to the podium after the special counsel report. It really was a stab in the back.
About their look into my handling of classified documents. I was pleased to see he reached a firm conclusion that no charges should be brought against me in this case. This was an exhaustive investigation going back more than 40 years, even into the 1970s when I was still a new United States Senator. The special counsel acknowledged I cooperated completely. I did not throw up any roadblocks. I sought no delays. In fact, I was so determined to give the special counsel what he needed, I went forward with a 5-hour in-person interview over 2 days on October the 8th and 9th of last year, even though Israel had just been attacked by Hamas on the 7th and I was very occupied. It was in the middle of handling an international crisis. I was especially pleased to see special counsel make clear the stark distinction and difference between this case and Mr. Trump's case. The special counsel wrote, and I quote, "Several material distinctions between Mr. Trump's case and Mr. Biden's are clear," continuing to quote, "most notably, after giving multiple chances to return classified documents, To avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite. According to the indictment, he not only refused to return the documents for many months, he also obstructed justice by enlisting others to destroy evidence and then to lie about it. In contrast, he went on to say Mr. Biden turned in classified documents to the National Archive for a voluntary interview and in other ways cooperated with the investigation, end of quote. I've seen the headlines since the report was released about my willful retention of documents. These assertions are not only misleading, they're just plain wrong. On page 215, if you had a chance, I know it's a thick document. On page 215.
You think he combed through it himself and came up with all this?
No. And by the way, I stand corrected. He was reading from a teleprompter. When I looked at it, I didn't see the regular like laser pointed teleprompters that they usually use, but there's something attached to the camera that he's looking at.
Yeah, and I'm playing this for a reason because I want y'all to get the whole sense of this. I mean, he's just reading here. And let's not kid ourselves. I think Biden is losing his memory. He's losing his cognitive abilities. But he has been a politician at a very high level for, 50 years? So he still has some of that skill that he's had for a while. And so let's keep watching.
The report of the special counsel found the exact opposite. Here's what he wrote. There is, in fact, a shortage of evidence that I willfully retained classified materials related to Afghanistan. On page 12, the special counsel also wrote for another documents. The decision to decline criminal charges was straightforward. The evidence suggests that Mr. Biden did not willfully retain these documents. The evidence said I did not willfully retain these documents. In addition, I know there's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events.
Oh, right.
There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of. Every Memorial Day, we hold a service remembering him, attended by friends and family and the people who loved him. I don't need anyone to remind me when he passed away or passed away. Simple truth is I sat for a 5-hour interview over 2 days of events.
Ooh. That's uncomfortable to watch because my read on that is very genuine, real, almost despair and pain.
You see him talking through his teeth there towards the end.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do, but it's a sign of like he's gritting. He's not happy.
And I was texting you last night, Craig, that I saw glimmers of that in 2020, where he started talking about this dark winter of death, or like there are these moments where you can tell this guy, it's one thing to be losing one's mind as you get older. I think he's also dealing with a lot of, say, traumatic things that he keeps pushing down. And whenever he gets challenged on that, especially that, but anything, he starts to now go towards anger, which I never do. Yeah. But, that's also a sign. But it then opens up here in a second. And, get ready.
Going back 40 years. At the same time I was managing an international crisis, their task was to make a decision about whether to move forward with charges in this case. That's their decision to make. That's the counsel's decision to make. That's his job. And they decided not to move forward. For any extraneous commentary, they don't know what they're talking about. It has no place in this report. The bottom line is the matter is now closed. I'm going to continue what I've always focused on, my job of being President of the United States of America. Now, thank you, and I'll take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president, and I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally out.
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak. That's
your memory has gotten worse.
Slam.
My memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President.
Voters have concerns about your age. How are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to fuel further concerns about your age?
Only by some of you.
Mr. President.
Okay, so folks,
Do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
you can tell there is blood in the water.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's not just Peter Ducey. Like, that was the first guy who shot at the question. This is the entire press corps now giving it to him.
They got their marching orders.
Yeah, this is, I don't think it's all that organic. I think the special counsel in this case knew exactly what he was doing. And let's watch Biden continue to try to swim here.
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing. It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me, but my staff.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
Damn.
Your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer
Because
to
I'm the
that
most
question?
qualified person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Wow, so this goes on. Like, the press definitely smells blood in the water, those sharks. And sometimes in talk radio, you don't even have to provide that much commentary. Just go watch it for yourself. Listen.
Oh, I mean, I do want to say, like, there's a lot of people that will go online and say something that they think is very noble, which is that they feel bad for it.
Sure.
While I understand the intent behind that, not to seem like you're beating up on the elderly, it bears repeating that he has been a bad guy for quite some time.
Yes.
So I think, and also the people, the age thing that they could. Okay, number one, I spend time observing our governor. I also spend some time observing one of our longest serving state senators, if not the longest serving state senator, Jabba Wagner, who I think is like 89, 87. I just checked. I know what old sounds like.
Right.
I also worked in a nursing home for many, many months. I know what sick looks like. And I would bet my house that he has not just a diagnosable, but a diagnosed neurological condition. I would bet my house on that. You can, not only do you just see it in the way that in the way that he speaks and he just misses words, like just stumbles through them, but also the fact that when all the reporters start going off, you see him, he's like short circuiting.
Yes.
And that's
he closes down.
That sensory overload is a huge part of that as well. And then there's just physiognomic and physiological changes that take place when you have a degenerative neurological condition, which like I said, he has. So I anticipate that which has already been diagnosed. There is a piece of paperwork somewhere that has a CT scan or cerebrospinal fluid sample that confirms this, but I have a feeling that already diagnosed condition is going to get diagnosed officially before the next election. That is my suspicion.
Well, we'll see. I've been predicting that they'll take him out not as president, but as the nominee for their party to be the next president. I think that's what's coming. Who knows? It could get worse even quicker. And that's the one thing. We talk about folks have all these plans. And yes, there are all these operators with a lot of money and a lot of skill. And yes, they have plans for elections, especially presidents. But the unexpected can happen. So you better believe some of these operators have, whether it's down the line, plan D, plan E, F, G. What if he dies all of a sudden? Or has some medical episode all of a sudden?
I think that's possible, but I think what's more possible is it's a more friendly gesture. Is he comes up and says, it's recently been discovered that I have X, Y, and Z, and I like to spend time with my family. I don't feel like I can best serve the country with this and battle this condition at the same time. So I'm giving my endorsement to X.
And they'll give him some cherry on top of like some commemoration or something like
it'll
that.
It'll be glowing and beautiful, and then he'll just slowly slip off to some ranch.
Well, let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
Hey, yeah, that Biden interview was kind of a little enlightening, I guess. There's nobody that can argue the fact, though, now that Biden has got some challenges. I mean, clearly his mental acuity is not very good.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, to me, he was lucid enough to get through that interview. I mean, but we've been told now by this prosecutor, no, he's just too frail, too bumbling to possibly be prosecuted. It doesn't really add up a lot, except for me, except for one thing. They are after him. They're after to get him
Yes.
out of the race.
Yes.
That's what this really, I think, is all about. Getting the Biden machine out of the picture. It's not necessarily about prosecuting. It's not necessarily about not prosecuting. It's about, look, you can't win the election, dude. We got to do something, and we got to do something quick.
100%.
Am I missing something there?
No, that's what we were saying right at the beginning of the show. I think you're
right.
When I saw this drop at the yesterday afternoon as we were ending the show, that was my first thought, that this is the dagger we've been waiting for. And it's the first stab. I think this is sort of the first big shock to him that folks don't have confidence. Folks on his side, I've been saying it for months now, it will not be the Republicans that take out Joe Biden. It'll be the Democrats. And here we go.
Et tu, Democratus? Et tu? So yeah, that's what's gonna. I think that's clearly, anybody that has thinking, skill can see that. So yeah, what's going to happen? I think you got a pretty good read on it there. Let him stay in office, and let's get somebody else in the nomination. I hope that's what happens anyway, because God help us if he actually drops off the planet and Harris takes over. That would be a disaster. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks a lot. Enjoying the show as usual.
Appreciate it, Papa B.
I think Master Thespian's going to criticize our King Lear comparison. What do you think?
Well, he might. Let's go to Master Thespian, sir. How are you?
You kids get off my lawn! That's what that was last night. That's what that was. The angry old man telling the kids to get off his lawn. It was pitiful. Oh, my goodness. My wife saw it first, and she said, you got to see this. So when they replayed it again, I watched it and just was in shock, because he verified everything that they said in that document, that he ain't right. He is not right.
Well, and the part of the clip we didn't play is he walks off, that he comes back, because yesterday he made a huge gaffe where he couldn't remember Hamas. He just said the opposition. And so when somebody asked about the hostage negotiations, he goes back to the podium after they're yelling at him, and he says, well, I'm the one who convinced Sisi of the Mexican president to open up the gates for humanitarian aid. I'm like, dude.
And I'm sure all those reporters were just going, did I hear what I just thought I heard? Yeah.
I thought maybe he was trying to say Bibi, like he was talking about Netanyahu. I still thought that was wrong, but it would at least been the right continent.
Yes, right. Well, and then he went on to say Bibi of Israel.
Yeah.
But he said the Mexican president, Al-Sisi. I'm like, okay.
Oh, my goodness. Well, one of the things that was curious to me is the exit that he went out of, there was a screen over it. I was wondering who was behind the screen giving him, come on. Oh, no, don't do that. Come on. So that's what we're not seeing. Who is the Wizard of Oz? Who is the person behind the curtain that's controlling the government? Because this boy ain't. Uncle Joe has no clue what the heck's going on. He's just signing what they're telling him to sign.
It's not one person. It's a series of people that are establishment types that have ulterior motives, but are presented to leaders, whether it's Donald Trump or Joe Biden, as the person that knows all about any particular subject, and they listen to them because they can't be an expert in everything, and those people have their own agendas, and they just get done. That's how it's never one person. There is no Oz behind the curtain. There's a lot of Oz's behind a lot of curtains.
Well, they're doing a bad job. Whoever they are and however many they are, it just
depends on how you define it. They're getting richer.
Well, and then
they are.
You look at this press conference and everything y'all just said about this group behind the scenes in the interview, and he's claimed it in interviews before. and I think he's saying it because it is true, Putin keeps saying, I've dealt with all these American presidents. They ain't the ones making the final decision.
Yep. Yeah.
And he essentially says it's our special services that make a lot of decisions, which he's not the only one who thinks that.
Two
in the world.
examples. One with Bush.
Condi. She came in and overrode Trump. I mean, not Trump, but Bush.
Yeah.
Our Condi.
And so to have Putin saying that to Tucker Carlson and then watching this Biden press conference, you're like, well, maybe.
Yep. Well, I'm agreeing with you. I think that his handlers or whoever is in charge has now decided, we're just going to throw him under the bus. Because why else would they have it to go out and do that?
Yeah, right.
Hey, Master Thespian, what do you think of our King Lear comparison?
Yes.
Yay.
Very much.
Thank you. Thank
Very
you so
much.
I thought you'd be critical of
I
it.
don't know what the audience knows about King Lear, but he's the guy that decides he wants to divide up his kingdom and wants his daughters to tell him how wonderful he is, how much they love him. And the two daughters, Regan and Goneril, that praise him, he gives them parts of the kingdom, but his youngest daughter, Cordelia, is like, I can't put into words what I feel for you. And so he banishes her from the kingdom, and then Regan and Goneril take everything and kick the old man out.
Let truth then be her dower.
We're living in a Shakespeare tragedy right now, guys.
Yes, we are. Appreciate it, Master Thespian.
Thanks.
Hey, and if folks want to watch, if you're interested, the King Lear production that's on Amazon Prime Video. It's Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, brilliant.
Really, really good.
As flies as 110 boys are we to the gods.
Yeah, and by the way, it's also like the most depressing dark play ever. I'll give it away. Everybody dies.
Yeah. But isn't Hopkins just a great? Doesn't he play like a Joe Biden type character perfectly in that film? You can just see him deteriorating, and the eyes get closed, and it's frightening. Anthony Hopkins is a gem, by the way.
No, and people are like, we keep losing our morals in today's society. I'm like, go read some Shakespeare. Yeah, it was a pretty nasty time back then, too. Anyway, we got to hit a break. This part of the program, though, first brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you, whether you have problems with an asphalt or a metal roof. And they understand the unique problems with either of those types of roofs. But you should get it inspected on a regular basis. Per the manufacturer, 3 to 5 years is all right, but I suggest do it every year. Do an annual inspection, given especially the changes in weather here in our great state of Alabama. And when you call River Region Contracting at 356-8635, here's the great news. That inspection, always free. Estimates, too, always free. And they're a team of insurance specialists. So if they do find a problem with your roof, your insurance might cover. They can walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and even pleasurable experience. Not a normal thing you might expect with an insurance claim. But they're really great there at River Region Contracting. The proof is so many of our listeners have used them, been very happy. Eddie, you've used them multiple times yourself.
All the time. They are my number one roofer, buddy.
So
people ask, that's the number they get from me.
356-8635. Again, that number for River Region Contracting, 356-8635. And be sure to tell them, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. Those fellows on the radio sent us. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. And we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years. And now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge.
Vote for my mommy.
Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
I'm with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. Dot, you have a big event coming up.
February is the biggest month we've had in years because this is our 30th anniversary, and it will be February the 24th from 9 until 6.
Anything special going to happen that day?
There will be surprises, giveaways. You can use gift certificates on that beautiful mahogany furniture that we've got, and we've got gorgeous mahogany. Some of it is signed pieces, as a matter of fact. We've got the Tiffany style lamps, we've got chests and beds and tables and chairs, and it's just so much. I can't really get across to you how much we've got.
All right, the date and hours for your big anniversary sale?
February 24th, 9 until 6.
And give us those regular hours of operation.
Monday through Friday is 10 until 6. Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. Eddie's in the house, so is Craig Monger of 1819 News. And now moving on to the other big interview or big event yesterday. And it really is a heck of a thing to compare these two leaders, just in terms of capability. So let's start with one. This is sort of a classic Tucker Carlson question. Well, who blew up Nord Stream, Vladimir? That
was a good one.
Could you let us know, Vladimir?
I was busy that day.
Hold on, let's back it up.
Who blew up Nord Stream?
You for sure.
I was busy that day. Nate, do you have I did not blow up Nord Stream. Thank you, though.
Putin was very pleased with himself for that one.
He really does have just such a jovial laugh. He's a brutal guy, but man alive, when he laughs, you're just like, oh, Vladimir.
Let's keep going.
У вас лично, может быть, есть алиби, у вас лично.
You personally may have an alibi, but the CIA has no such alibi.
Do you have evidence that NATO or the CIA did it?
You know, I won't get into details, but people always say in such cases, look for someone who is interested.
But I'm confused. I mean, that's the biggest act of industrial terrorism ever, and it's the largest emission of CO2 in history. Okay, so if you had evidence, and presumably given your security services, your intel services, you would, that NATO, the US, CIA, the West did this, why wouldn't you present it and win a propaganda victory?
In the war of propaganda, it is very difficult to defeat the United States because the United States controls all the world's media and many European media. The ultimate beneficiary of the biggest European media are American financial institutions. Don't you know that? So it is possible to get involved in this work, but it is cost prohibitive, so to speak. We can simply shine the spotlight on our sources of information, and we will not achieve results.
Now, this entire thing started with Tucker essentially right out of the gate saying, why did you feel like you were about to be surprise attacked by NATO? Why did you start this? And Putin kind of backed up and said, are we going to have a talk show or a serious conversation? And Tucker kind of giggles at that. And so Putin then proceeds to go into 30, 40-minute history lesson on the history of Russia. And Tucker tries to interrupt him at times. It's like going, what the heck is this guy doing? And he's like, well, okay, but I'm going to continue. This is my point. And in a way, it is illuminating in that this is, number one, a command of a narrative. And I think it is a narrative. There's some ways you could pick it apart. But it very clearly lays out the narrative I think Putin believes himself.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Sure. But it is bizarre. The whole opening hour is sort of Putin giving a lecture and Tucker trying to get him to off. He's like, no, I'm going to go steadily through, from the 800 AD, 800. the Kievan Rus, all the way to the Mongols invading in the 1300s.
And he would jump back and forth in the timeline. He does seem to have a command of the timeline. And funnily enough, later on in the interview, he was very critical of nationalism, it seems like, but his argument was a very nationalistic argument.
Right, exactly.
Incredibly so.
And so he essentially believes that a lot of these lands are historic lands of Russia based on language, based on religion. And this, again, if you had looked into Russian sources, if you read a little bit, I'd say Alexander Dugin, whose daughter was killed by the Ukrainians in this whole fight. Many have accused Dugin of being sort of a new type of fascism. When you read it, it's a weird mix of everything. But Putin, you can tell, is in that school where he talks about the soul of the Russian people and sort of these traditions and this move towards multipolarity in the world. So if you have gotten into this stuff before, this is not anything new. Yeah. Putin didn't say anything really all that new. But, so once you get past that history lesson,
first hour,
then it starts to be fascinating how much Tucker is willing to push the envelope. And this one, I think, is the biggest hat tip to Tucker Carlson right here. He asked about the, journalist who has now been in prison for nearly a year.
I just got to ask you one last question, and that's about Evan Gershkovich, who's the Wall Street Journal reporter. He's 32. And he's been in prison for almost a year. And I just want to ask you directly, if as a sign of your decency, you would be willing to release him to us and we'll bring him back to the United States.
We have done so many gestures of goodwill out of decency that I think we have run out of them. We have never seen anyone reciprocate to us in a similar manner. However, in theory, we can say that we do not rule out that we can do that if our partners take reciprocal steps.
What makes this different is the guy's obviously not a spy, he's a kid. And maybe he was breaking your law in some way, but he's not a super spy, and everybody knows that, and he's being held hostage in exchange, which is true. With respect, it's true, and everyone knows it's true. So maybe he's in a different category. Maybe it's not fair to ask for, somebody else in exchange for letting him out. Maybe it degrades Russia to do that.
He was receiving classified, confidential information, and he did it covertly.
I mean, this is a 32-year-old newspaper reporter.
He committed something different. He's not just a journalist. I reiterate, he's a journalist who was secretly getting confidential information. I do not rule out that the person you refer to, Mr. Gershkovich, may return to his motherland. By the end of the day, it does not make any sense to keep him in prison in Russia.
I hope you let him out.
Now, we've often heard about how bad it could be in Russia. Craig, being a journalist here in the States now, if you could be accused and locked in a cage, be accused of being a spy and be locked in a cage, and what you were doing was essentially trying to get government confidential sources, not for some other agency, not for some other nation state, but just to get it out to the public, and you're accused of being a spy. That's unnerving, right?
I guess. I mean, I've done exactly that. By the way, I've done that. Specifically, I have done that. I have tried that, and I have accomplished it several times. If that's considered espionage, and I end up getting thrown in some sort of redneck gulag, then so be it. It's part of the job. But I think that's a bit stretching the definition of
spy
of espionage. But then again, that's a different country with its own laws. I'm not familiar with Russian jurisprudence on the matter.
And also look at how the U.S. labeled Julian Assange a non-state intelligence agency.
And where did he go for security?
It's almost like they took that book out of Putin's playbook, or took that play out of Putin's playbook.
And that's it goes to the point that one of Putin's main goals, it seemed, and he accomplished it very well during this interview, was to point out the abject hypocrisy of the United States and how they deal with things. Now, some of his comparisons were frail, I would say, but there were comparisons that he made that were stronger than others, and his criticisms of that. So it is hypocritical that Assange had to, and not only Assange, but goodness, oh gosh, what's his name? The other guy, Snowden, Edward Snowden, yeah. Edward Snowden had to go. He's still in the Kremlin, I believe. I think
That's what I wrote about this week.
Yeah, he's still there. Who was he doing it for? The American people.
Yeah,
and that's considered espionage or whatever that Snowden's accused of. So you can't have it both ways. You can't bemoan them doing the Russian state doing exactly what you've done to your own citizens.
Exactly right, but they will.
They will.
They will.
They will. And again, I'm saying none of it is good.
Right.
None of it's okay. But again, I'm being consistent. The United States in its messaging is not.
Nope.
Now here is Tucker asking Putin, "When's the last time you spoke to Biden?"
When was the last time you spoke to Joe Biden?
I cannot remember when I talked to him. I do not remember.
You don't remember?
No. Do I have to remember everything? I have my own things to do. We have domestic political affairs.
Well, he's funding the war that you're fighting, so I would think that would be memorable.
Well, yes, he funds, but I talked to him before the special military operation, of course. And I said to him then, by the way, I believe that you are making a huge mistake of historic proportions by supporting everything that is happening there in Ukraine by pushing Russia away. I told him repeatedly, by the way.
What did he say?
Ask him, please. It is easier for you. You are a citizen of the United States. Go and ask him. It is not appropriate for me to comment on our conversation.
But you haven't spoken to him since before February of 2022.
No, we haven't spoken.
Well, and then he goes on to say, "Why would I?"
Right.
Like, if the Ukrainians don't want to negotiate, and goes into all that, how Boris Johnson scuttled a deal they had out of Istanbul, and that's been publicly reported from Western sources for a while now. He said, if the Ukrainians aren't going to deal, then why should I even try to talk to the United States? Because the Ukrainians are essentially run by the United States at this point.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Solid point.
I just hope it ends soon.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing what I do every morning, doing my cardio, watching CNN on one screen, Fox News on another,
Mhm.
and there was the CNN thing that was talking about how tired the Ukrainian soldiers are, many of whom, because they've had to start enlisting 50-year-old men plus, and I was just like, the United States is directly responsible for continuing to drag this along, and now you have 50-year-old men and now women in Ukraine who are fighting this war that they have not ever been capable of winning.
Well, and also, like, one thing I've realized about me is I try to look at these sorts of events, like big geopolitical shifts in war, as not just through the lens of, say, like a moral melodrama. Folks are like, well, I'm morally right, so we have to do the thing. I'm like, well, you might feel that way, but what is going to be the practical effect of your action? So you might be morally right that, we got to kick the Russians out of Ukraine. We got to, I'm Lindsey Graham. I'm going to kill Putin with my thumb if I get close to him. Like, okay, if you can pull it off, Lindsey, maybe go for it, dude. That'd be fun to watch. If you can actually kick the Russians out of Ukraine, go for it. But when the practical outcome of your moral policy is hundreds of thousands of people dead, millions displaced, and this ain't the first time the United States is engaged in that sort of moral behavior, I gotta question your morality.
Everyone has that, though. Your reaction can't be equivalent to your feelings, even if you are in the moral right. If someone cuts me off in traffic, my immediate instinct is to murder them. And I feel morally right in doing so. However, if I draw my pistol and just start shooting at their car, the repercussions are going to be possibly some dead people in that car and elsewhere, but also I don't ever see the light of day again. So no matter how morally superior you feel, and by the way, there's a significant debate about the moral right and wrong in this discussion, especially since 2014.
Yep.
But you have to have some sort of awareness of the fallout from your actions. And let's not pretend like this is about us loving Ukraine so much. Most people didn't even know that Ukraine was an independent nation before this whole conflict set off, and then all of a sudden they were just in love with it because they were told to do so. This is about power, and this is about money, like all conflicts are.
Let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Hey, I was watching a documentary, and it was pretty interesting. And the bottom line is, I kind of, I'm somewhat semi-supportive of Putin and his trials and tribulations, because it's very simply what he wants. Bottom line is, and he's made it clear, we don't have to talk to him, we don't have to have Tucker interviews. He wants the motherland of Russia back to the way it was before it broke up. Simple. He's OKGB. He wants it back.
Is that actually what he wants, or does he just want the Donbass? He wasn't actually clear in the interview.
Well, yeah. Well, that's been physically apart. Those people speak, 90%, 99% Russian?
Yeah.
And they had an election or something like that. And we didn't do anything about it when they had their unmarked, semi-small nuke bombs, and when the aircraft was accidentally shot down, that's conspiracy again, and then the uniforms had no patches or names on them, and they're like, oh, well, we didn't know anything about it. But let's go back and look back into history. History has a way of repeating itself. Do you remember when the Soviets tried to sneak and try to put some nice little nukes on 90 miles off our coast in Cuba?
Yeah, I think it was the Cuban Missile Crisis, wasn't it?
I thought that was a sandwich.
Okay. And Kennedy said, nope, it ain't going to happen. You ain't going to have it that close. Even though it's it's in Cuba, and we don't own Cuba. But we're just going to go ahead and you're going to tell you no. Well, that's the same thing when Ukraine, what they did, they want to be a part of NATO. They kept crying and crying and crying. And how many times did Putin tell them, nope, don't do it, don't do it? How many times did Putin tell that country no? And we thought about it, and we never officially made them a part of NATO, correct?
No, but we kept opening the door and saying it's coming. Also, even remember the Trump impeachment they got so mad about with the delaying weapon shipments? We were essentially already providing NATO-level weapons and training to the Ukrainians.
Now, if I put myself in Putin's shoes, okay, Ukraine's bumped up right against my border, and you're going to put NATO nukes. As soon as you become NATO, you're going to put NATO nukes right on my door. Do you think I feel comfortable about it? Look, you always have to put yourself in that other person's position.
Well,
I don't want them on my damn door.
Yeah, well, this is also the exact thing that Israel did in 1967 whenever they obtained the West Bank and the Gaza Strip from Jordan and Egypt. They called it a preemptive war because they were afraid of reaction from their neighbors. Now, again, I'm not making a statement on either one. I'm not in support or in defiance of either one. But again, what I said before, inconsistency is the sign of a failed argument. You cannot consistently support Israel's claim to the 1967 borders that they got after a war and then say that what Putin is doing is some morally reprehensible thing that is akin to him taking on a Hitlerian role in human history. It's nonsense.
Well, Joe, I like it when you play Tucker's clip on there. First of all, he didn't call him President Biden. He called him Joe Biden.
All right.
But he refers
to
Donald
made him a
Trump
civilian real quick.
Yeah.
Huh?
He refers to Donald Trump as President Trump.
Tommy Tuberville.
That's exactly. Yep. I mean, there's a respect that comes along with the title, like a doctor or something, and it just has that. And I love what Putin said. Who? Who? Why do I need to talk to him for?
Well,
first of all,
I'll put it this way, Soldier Boy. Looking at the whole warp and woof of what's happened, say, in the last 20 years. Some of the history Putin went over. I think Putin would have been happy with this sort of Eurasianist project. So if he could have dominated a lot of Eastern Europe just through economics, through language, through culture, he would have been fine with that. But in Ukraine was that sort of last straw, and because of being part of the cradle of their civilization. And when he couldn't get that domination through the economic means, that was the big fight in 2014 over what trade deal the Ukrainians would sign. That's when this started to get violent.
I see Ukraine as one thing. It's one great, I think it's one great money laundering scheme.
Yep.
Because why is it we can't audit any of this money and billions of dollars?
You sound like
where?
Julian Assange. That's what he said all these U.S. wars in recent history have been. Look at Afghanistan. Not to win a war, but to launder a bunch of money through it.
Well, we should have learned that when Russia couldn't beat Afghans. Well, how many years were they there? 20 years? They got their butt whooped?
Right.
Something like that.
And then we think we can do it, right? And go in there.
Yeah.
And is that, correct me if I'm wrong, how many countries have tried to go and conquer Afghanistan through the biblical history?
Through the whole of history?
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It's a lot of countries, right?
Yeah.
And what happens? They all got whooped.
Yep.
Well, there's a new Alexander the Great documentary out on Netflix that gets into that a little bit. So, and by the way, people got real upset. They wokeified Alexander the Great.
No, they didn't.
No, he's pretty gay.
But you know,
he was gay.
I will have to criticize one bit. The romantic aspect of it was something that would have been inconceivable to anyone in Alexander.
It's a completely different
time.
time.
Yeah, completely different. But they made it like a modern gay romance.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
Joe, you remember they tried to put remember there was at the state legislature tried to put bill, was it, correct me if I'm wrong, they passed a bill and they tried to put class was it called Class 2 gaming? Is that when you can play poker and everything?
Class 3, yeah.
Class 3, and they tied it to the lottery, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and the lottery is just never going to get. Even if they let the people vote, it's not going to happen. But this is like the same thing. Why is it the Democrats have to keep tying something to the freaking Ukraine money? Because they can't get the votes.
Right. No, and there are a lot of Republicans.
We got to tie it to Israel. Yeah.
And it's not just Democrats. It's folks like Mitch McConnell. But, oh, my God, I'm out of time, Soldier Boy. I apologize,
right,
but appreciate the call. 272-9228. Got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Feeling a winter chill? Then pack your bags and head to Wind Creek for our Champions of the Caribbean tournament. Simply visit your favorite Wind Creek location for qualifying rounds on Fridays in February. Finalists will travel to our award-winning Caribbean resort, Wind Creek, Curacao, in April for the championship round and a shot at $50,000 cash. Escape to the Caribbean and escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and on the Casinoverse app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Casting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Biden pushing back at the special counsel's report that questioned his memory. In the report, Mr. Biden described as an elderly man with a poor memory. At a press conference, he responded angrily to questions about his mental fitness. Peppered with questions about his age and fitness for office, he dismissed those concerns as reporters' opinions. An overnight fire caused extensive damage to an iconic Chicago restaurant known for its breakfast and is filled with decades of memorabilia. The Palace Grill opened in 1938. Authorities in eastern Tennessee searching for a suspect they say was involved in a shooting that killed one sheriff's deputy and left another wounded. Warrants have been issued for 42-year-old Kenneth DeHart. The Dow is down 59 points, but the Nasdaq ahead 190. This is SRN News.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy. It's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything. including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. Remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
The Ridge Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Alabama's personal injury attorney, me, Johnny Adams of the Johnny Adams Law Firm. Stay weather alert, everyone.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got one more dry, very mild day today, but we've got a weekend storm system as well. Today, mostly cloudy, but still dry with a high around 73. Very mild overnight tonight as the clouds hang in, low 58. Saturday and Sunday, periods of showers and thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours at times. 72 the high Saturday, near 70 on Sunday, and the main event with the stronger storm Sunday night into the overnight hours on Monday in the wee hours of the morning. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
Sweetheart?
Yeah?
I've been thinking, I'm tired of this house.
What? You want to move?
Yeah, but we'd have to do some updating, to get top dollar.
Updating really does make a lot of sense, especially when you're talking about lighting. That's where Crosby Electric comes in. They'll help you choose a stunning pendant fixture over your bathroom sink, dramatic flush mount lighting over your kitchen island, maybe some LED panels to backlight your countertops. Energy-saving LED lighting has really come down in price. Or how about a new ceiling fan that moves air more efficiently than fans built only 10 years ago? The bottom line, updating your lighting almost always delivers a full return on your investment.
Well, sweetheart, the house looks fabulous.
Yeah.
Guess I'll put out the for sale sign.
Wait.
What?
I don't wanna move.
Find out how to turn your house into the home you'll never want to leave. Visit CrosbyElectric.com or call 272-2085.
Don't settle for what Uncle Sam wants to give you. Get to Toyota of Montgomery today, where we'll double your tax refund. This month only, Toyota of Montgomery will double your money. If you have a $1,000 refund, we'll double it to $2,000. $2,000 is now $4,000. $5,000 is now up to $10,000. It gets even better because Toyota of Montgomery has incredible incentives on our new inventory, like the new 2024 Toyota Camry LE, now only $299 a month, or the best-selling new 2024 RAV4 LE. It's only $349 a month. That's double your refund money, up to $10,000 plus save on new Toyotas and more for your trade. Get to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Dealer will match tax refund after $5,000 for dealer discount off TSRP. Example, 2024 Toyota Sequoia Hybrid Capstone 4-wheel drive in-transit vehicle. TSRP 84,172. Camry MSRP 30,958. RAV4 MSRP 28,214. 12,000 miles per year for 39-month lease with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit on sealed new Toyota purchases. Select new Toyota purchases plus taxes, tag, title, and $999 doc fee. Offers end 2/29/2024.
Love is in the air and on the boat, the Harriet II Riverboat, that is. Bring your special someone for a romantic evening and experience the elegance of cruising the Alabama River. Enjoy a delicious dinner while taking in the stunning sights. Dance the night away to the tunes that touch your soul, or just sit back and relax. Roses and champagne complete your lover's evening. You have 4 nights to choose from, February 14th, 15th, 16th, or 17th. Book your Valentine's cruise at funinmontgomery.com.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measure.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. One of the suspects charged in the murder of Montgomery teenager Michael Cole Jr., who posted bond Wednesday night, is back in jail. Judge Reed amended her original bond order for Nicholas King Shepherd Thursday morning to say that 25% of the $750,000 bond amount must be paid in cash. The Alabama House of Representatives released 2 gambling bills on Thursday. One is a constitutional amendment, and the other is the gambling legislation itself. Both bills will likely pass the House for a more uphill battle in the Senate. The people of Alabama haven't actually voted on the gambling issue since 1999. Alabama's starting teacher pay could be going up to $47,600 a year if Governor Kay Ivey has her way. The 7.6% increase would make Alabama's starting teachers the highest paid in the South. The governor also proposed a raise for all teachers. If lawmakers agree, this would be the fourth consecutive year teachers have received raises. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
My name is Chris Tarantino, and I'm running for Prattville City Council District 5. My goals for Prattville include improving technology for our schools and first responders, prioritize upgrades to infrastructure, enhancing our parks and rec facilities, ensuring efficient use of public funds and accountability with taxpayer money. You can find more information about me and my vision for Prattville on Facebook or at ChrisTarantino4District5.com.
Paid for by Chris Tarantino, 518 Seasons Court, Prattville, Alabama, 36066.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. I'm Joey. We also have Eddie Bader in the house. How you doing, Eddie?
Hey, Joey.
Also, Craig Monger of 1819 News. How you doing today, Craig?
If I was doing any better, it'd be illegal.
Well, we ran behind there in that first hour. It's one of those news days where I don't even want ads at this point. So much to talk about. But let's do a little bit of change because all that was pretty heavy. Let's do something a little dumber. So I'll give you all a choice. Should it be A, both have to do with kind of sex? It's not too dirty. One's dirtier than the other. But one has to do with ChatGPT. The other has to do with a Florida mom. Which one should we go with?
I go with Florida.
Florida mom. Yeah,
Florida mom? Okay,
yeah,
we'll go with Florida mom here then. Because this Florida mom, well, she didn't really know what she was getting into. Well, I guess she did. But she's now feigning shock that people are upset with her. What is it that she did? Well, Florida mom with a giant bumper sticker promoting her OnlyFans account, confused as to why a kid's Christian prep school is now upset with her.
They took it a little bit further.
They did it?
Yeah, they suspended her kid.
They suspended the kid?
Yeah, I saw that news story this morning.
Right.
That poor kid, man.
I know.
God help him.
That's absolutely.
How would you feel if your parents showed up to pick you up and drop you off every day from school with an OnlyFans sticker?
Bang, 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 reload, bang, bang, bang.
Right. And apparently her name is Michelle Klein. And it wasn't like a little sticker.
No.
Well, like, so those Uber ones you see or Lyft stickers? Or,
You're right.
No, this is like the whole back window. Very clearly with her URL.
I don't understand. I don't get that. And I don't understand how she thinks she'd think that'd be okay.
But she pushed the envelope there anyway.
Florida, but still.
And well, here, she's 35. Raised the ire of other parents at Liberty Christian Preparatory School. Yeah, it's like,
wonder what the problem was there.
It's not like you're going to some like Arizona, California Montessori. Like, oh, we're very open-minded.
Oh, what the nuns at Our Lady of Guadalupe didn't like my OnlyFans stickers. What the?
Yeah,
I bet in revenge though she publishes some people's names that are probably affiliated with that school one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Superintendent so is a follower.
Do you think there are some fans of hers?
I bet she's looking for them now if there are.
Yeah. But hey, there's an actual news report from the local news. in that area of Florida. It's Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Ah, but of course.
So let's listen and see what she actually has to say here.
At odds with other parents over a controversial decal on her car.
She says there's nothing illegal about advertising her OnlyFans account, but it's causing a stir at her kid's private Christian school. Janice has a story from the newsroom.
This is what I am looking at when I pull up behind one of these vehicles.
Facebook messages, complaints, and TikToks.
You ban a vehicle.
Taking the front row pew at a private Christian school.
Not just a tiny little emblem on the back of a car. It is taking up the entire back windshield of two vehicles.
Lexi Thomas is a parent at Liberty Christian who wants this ad on another parent's car to stay off campus. That other parent is Michelle Klein, and what she has is an OnlyFans.
Well, it's definitely linked to, explicit content, adult content for sure.
No.
Who goes by Piper Fawn says OnlyFans is her business and way of life.
Think she did this to get publicity?
Well, that's not a bad idea, Joey. Remember the two teachers not too long ago that the one did it and then the one had to wait a week. She's like, hey, by the way, I'm on OnlyFans too. Y'all can fire me.
Yeah.
Here's my link.
By the way, I love how she has to clarify that it leans towards explicit content. It's like, no, we thought you were making sourdough.
Which those do exist
on OnlyFans.
And all the other sites.
Oh yeah, I watched. I like the ones on Instagram because my Instagram is listening to my conversations with my wife, so I just get ads for sourdough stuff.
Oh wow, interesting.
It is weird. It's listening to you. Don't let anyone.
Yeah.
tell
Oh
you
yeah,
different.
you're right about that.
And part of me thinks this is so. She knows where her kids are going to school. She chose the private school. It's an explicitly Christian school.
Either that, or she's a marketing genius, knowing it would lead to this,
or maybe she's just a hoe. Excuse me.
I've heard they ain't loyal, and I've also heard they be crazy.
Yeah, they be crazy.
Let's keep going.
My husband and I had this, little wild, behind closed doors lifestyle that we've now decided to share.
But not all parents want
nobody
what
wants
Klein
that.
is sharing. Shared at school, with some moms complaining to Klein and the school, telling her not to use the main entrance and instead drop her kids off across the street.
I was forced to have to, take it off or not come on campus.
But parents at this private school say there's a simple solution if Klein wants to use the main drop-off.
Why not take the decal off?
And that would seem like an easy thing to say, for sure. But for me, it supports my family. This provides a very comfortable way of life for us. And it's legal. I pay taxes just like everyone else, but I'm not breaking the law. I just offended people.
That's a distraction to my children. And no matter how poorly or how good I parent, porn is there. And if that's kind of the first thing they're seeing when they're going into a place that should be educating them.
Klein says she wants the school, at the very least, to provide someone to help her kids get across the street safely.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but now you were saying, Eddie, her kid has been suspended?
Yeah. And let's be honest, if you were her kid, would you not go, Mom, quit driving me to school in the Homemobile? It's not helping me out at school, Mom.
No, it's really as hilarious as the story is. It really is just I'm thinking about that kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just cannot imagine what that would be like.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard enough being a kid going through the changes, having people at the very least making fun of you, if not showing you what your mother is up to on that site. She should really, really be ashamed of herself.
Right.
But listen to that interview. She seems like. You think she's just oblivious to
No,
the ramifications you're thinking of?
No, she
doesn't care.
She's like rah rah, women free the nipple, like that.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like the women's liberation now has taken the form of reducing yourself to your reproductive body parts and selling them for money. Yay, feminism! And
if you're just kind of like a male pig, isn't this like the best possible world?
Yeah.
How is this better for women?
No, because I'm a male pig and it makes me feel uncomfortable. I got to be honest.
Eddie,
all this stuff, OnlyFans stuff,
Eddie, you're a dude.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
You're a dude who grew up in the 80s and 90s. You ain't a male pig. I mean, you're little. There are times where I want to say, that'll do, pig, that'll do. But that's a different thing.
I'm telling you, I know I'm getting old because this world we're living in now, I'm uncomfortable at some of the stuff that just is very casual. Sending nudes. When did that become a thing? And it's perfectly okay.
Yeah. But in your day, by the time it actually got to you, the Polaroid looked all wrinkled.
Right,
and
exactly.
And also to give the devil its due, I guess pun intended, why would a woman like this do that? She's attractive, obviously. She's very much how she's done up into herself. $20,000 a month.
Oh, that ain't nothing, man. The
20
girls-
grand a month to do sex stuff, I guess, with a husband and put it on the internet.
You
see why people do it. I don't think you should do it.
I think
You're
if
selling
she's
yourself.
only making 20 grand. She's on the low end. Most of those women on there make big money, especially with the girlfriend experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
which
just a
by the
sad
way
day.
is now being done by AI, or they
Oh,
have
certainly,
they have
100%.
those
100%,
call
man.
centers in India. They'll chat with people under their profile.
Yep.
Andrew Tate talked about that, how he would have guys sitting there and talk to other guys under the guys that they're the. I said guys 3 times in that sentence, but the one was
Yeah, guy.
GUISE. And but it's done that way now, so it's just gross.
Yeah,
and it's like
beyond
so, I'm
weird.
just doing it with my husband. Yeah, there's. What does that have to do with anything? This new world does not make any sense to me.
No, I'm telling you, I never thought I'd live in a world where male pig me feels uncomfortable, and male pig me feels uncomfortable.
I'm a
Hey,
bona fide.
before-
Oh, go ahead.
Peanut Gallery, what do you think about a mom having a big OnlyFans advertising decal when she takes her kid to a Christian school?
I need the money.
20 grand a month.
$20.
He needed the money. Oh,
let's go to George. Hey, George.
Hey guys, I need to ask a quasi-political question.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I see an ad on TV for a guy who says he's Trump's choice to run and all that stuff. Is he running in the 6th district up out of Birmingham?
Gary Palmer?
In Hoover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yes.
Okay. And the 6th district now comes all the way down to Elmore and Autauga counties, right?
Correct.
Okay. That guy has the worst done political ad on TV I've ever seen. He's supposed to be standing next to Trump, and of course he's not. It's 2 different cutouts. And Trump is pointing in one direction, this guy's facing the other direction, and yet they keep reading these quotes from Trump. Anyway, I would not vote for that guy if I had the chance, because his ad is so bad. You seen the one I'm talking about?
I did see it the other day when I was watching Pardon the Interruption with my grandfather. It's not good. Now, we've interviewed Gary Palmer, and I have to say he's a very smart cookie, and he's a little dry in terms of presentation. And we've also had his opponent on, Jarek Wilkins, and plan to have them both back. But right now, Gary, with early polling, seems to be doing all right. Pretty strong in the race. But
Well, who's in that slot now?
Gary.
He is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I hope he can make a better ad. I mean, he probably doesn't need one, but the ad is so bad. I thought he was an amateur and didn't know what he was doing, and that may still be the case. His ad is so bad. I try to watch political ads. You know, some of them are slick and some of them are not, and this one's not. But he's running for the 6th district, and he's in that seat now, right?
Right, that's correct.
God forbid. Okay, Joey, thank you for your time.
Thank you, George. Now, I think the best ad of the cycle continues to be Dick Brubaker right now, just talking directly in the camera. In fact, Barry Moore's new ad, he's talking right into the camera. But yeah, it starts with like a shotgun, like And I'm like, all right,
don't quite match, but okay.
Yeah, it was a little. What do you mean doesn't match? What are you
it's a
talking
good-
about?
nothing. Gun
What
he's
are you
got's a nice
talking
gun
about?
that
No, it's actually, as someone who owns so many guns and knows everything about them, it offends me, politicians' choice of
Thank you.
firearms and advertising.
Thank you.
It offends me personally.
What'd you think of the broad in, I guess, Arizona? Did the homemade flamethrower or something like that?
I didn't see that one.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I'll have to find
How'd it go?
A lot of people liked it. I don't think it was as hot as Jessica Taylor's,
yeah,
but
'cause Jessica put it out, and all of a sudden that company.
she had the Boring Company flamethrower.
Yeah.
This so looks like it's a propane tank hooked into a blower, like a big. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like it's one of those torch.
Yeah.
like you
Very
normally do with
redneck,
welding or something. Yeah,
But it is my favorite thing to do is to pick apart people's setups in political campaigns, or even if it's not just an ad, it's stuff that they post on social media. And I am especially an AR snob. And especially when it comes to attachments, optics, and such, I just love picking it apart.
Now, what'd you think of the Ivy ad where they're at the shooting range and then no step too high for a high stepper?
Yeah, well, I mean, she had this little 380. It's like, I think it was a Ruger, if memory serves me correctly. It's like, okay, I think the 380 is the most useless round that is commonly available to be
Granny got a gun. Whole world's come undone. Let's go to Randall. Hey, Randall.
Hey, Randall.
Well, hello, folks.
Granny's got a gun.
Granny's got a gun. You better get on the run.
What's Randall got?
'Cause you don't want her grandson. Man, let me tell y'all. Allison. Well, Allison got us all searching, seeing. Joy, do you know Russian? Are you the translator on that daggone?
No, I can't speak a lick of it.
You can't speak a lick of it, huh?
No, and I would, given my Polish heritage, I don't think I'd get along with the Ruskies.
Well, Allison, I think you're on to something. Allison thinks that you covered now, and now she really believes you was just throwing that CIA stuff on Eddie early in his career because it was really.
Wait. You're telling me Allison Sinclair on Alabama Unfiltered this morning was accusing me of being a Russian spy, if not asset?
Exactly what she said. She's saying that's you doing the voiceover. That's doing the translation, so you make sure we get the right information. It's supposed to be the propaganda-wise in America. That you're actually the gatekeeper.
You know what's offending to me, by the way? That I'm truly offended by this. In years I've been in this job, and especially during my recent troubles, nobody accused me of being a Chinese asset. I lived there for 15 years. No one has accused me. Apparently, I just lack the visible intelligence to be a spy. So,
Hey, I bet you one thing. I bet you helped design that daggone windsuit. I bet you that.
No,
because you said yourself.
I don't use a wingsuit. I use the loose skin from my recent fat loss.
But back to the
Wait, who's our asset there in the States? Greg Lunger. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to, they butcher my name. Craig
Monga.
Is it hard to say, Craig?
Yeah, it's the Craig. It's the hard Germanic part. So it's usually just like Craig.
Ever since Friday, Craig.
My Chinese name. My Chinese name was Armal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Craig didn't stick as well as Felicia did, though, did it? And in the other part on the Facebook thing, y'all got somebody right here in Prattville, Alabama. He calls himself Forever, but he got his song. There's a Trump on Facebook OnlyFans, like Trump. I can't pronounce her first name, but your boy right here in Prattville is putting her on blast. And he got a song on Apple, and it's called something Trump. Whatever she's hiding under, the first name is that, then Trump. But she is supposedly a Trump on OnlyFans, but she you can't hardly pronounce her first name, and it's named after her, and it's a pretty wild song, man. I don't know.
So it's a call out song of a chick who does a Trump impersonation on her OnlyFans account.
So yeah,
sounds pretty perverted to me.
It might be.
And trust me, I know that stuff.
You know that stuff.
I know that stuff.
I'm not saying this is for nobody on no 14 and under. We talking about OnlyFans here. So yeah, don't go listen to the song that Forever got out. Just because you from Prattville, you 14, you got Apple. Don't go punch it, please. I'm sorry for even saying it like that on radio, but I might have messed up saying it like that. You right, Joey. I probably should have paused on that one before I said it. Now all these kids probably running Apple. Oh my God.
No. Let's not do any of that. Parents are having enough trouble as is.
Yeah. Man, I am so sorry for even saying that. But anyway, and yesterday the airplane thing, man, it was the red tails. They painted them. They painted them. It said on the news what Sky says is that they painted that to represent the airmen from Tuskegee.
Right.
That is the Raptors that was here yesterday. And they're getting ready for some big to-do, and a bunch of big dignitaries are flying in, and everybody's getting here. And so they're getting a lot of escorts, and they're starting to bring all the planes in. But the red tail, when I saw that, I was like, man, that don't look right. But I guess because it's the first time he's seeing one. So it was pretty cool yesterday. And he was pushing a P-51 bomber out of the way, but they said they were just practicing for the air show they're going to put on. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
P-51 bomber?
Yeah. Yeah, a
P-51
Mustang, bro. Yeah.
Mustang's bomber?
Yeah.
No.
Yesterday. So that's what they said it was. I don't know. I'm not no airman like Greg, I promise you. But the red tail, Sky said, is the new Raptor, and they done that to represent the Tuskegee Airmen. So that's pretty cool, man.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good to have the mystery solved. Appreciate it, Randall.
See you, Randall.
We'll see y'all, pal.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And so men, you know, as we age, as we mature, there are two things that affect most men. Erectile dysfunction, and low testosterone. And it's nothing to deny, put off. Don't be ashamed about it. Don't be embarrassed. And it's not something to wait to get fixed. I know fellas don't like going to the doctor. I certainly don't. But Montgomery Men's Health was created to take care of guys just like us. So if you're lacking motivation, energy, always tired, feel like you're walking through life in a fog, seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass, even a decrease in your sex drive, well, knowing whether you have low T is huge in combating some of these issues. And, you know, a lot of guys are suffering from low T, and they don't even realize it. You should make this part of your annual health routine as a man, and even start getting it checked at a younger age, because you could be walking around feeling all these things, and you don't realize, hey, low T is the reason. So why not stop by Montgomery Men's Health? The providers there will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99, and they have treatments at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change your life. Most men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
Brother.
That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, usually even notice an increased libido.
Nothing wrong with that, Joey.
You can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. That number for Montgomery Men's Health, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to montgomerymenshealth.com to book your appointment today. Be sure to tell them that you heard Joey send you to Montgomery Men's Health, that Joey sent you. Now, before we hit this break, speaking of low T, did y'all see this clip from Ryan Long that's been making the rounds over the week? The comedian Ryan Long?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, I just kind of want to play it because this is amazing. He's a comedian, online comedian. He's got a pretty big
fortunate that I have.
And he posted a little joke when he was in Colorado about the Low T Center.
Oh.
And he explains it, though, so we might as well take it away, Ryan Long. Let's listen in.
It is very unfortunate that I have to make this video, but a few months ago, I was playing in Colorado, and I posted this photo outside of the Low T Center saying that I was kicked out by armed guards because my kind is not welcome there. Pretty obvious to anyone with normal T that that is a joke implying that my T is too high. However, in one of the lowest T moves in history, I get this email from the chief legal officer at the Low T Center saying, "It is my understanding that you represent Mr. Long." Out of the gate, sort of a low T move to go to my website and then see my agent's contact and my contact, then choosing to snitch to my agents instead of going to me direct. But I guess the chief law officer at the Low T Center doesn't like direct confrontation. Included below is a post that Mr. Long made on his Facebook account this past December. In that post, he contends he was discriminated against at our clinic and had 4 guards escorted him out. Those statements are false. Mr. Long is not a patient at our Low T Center. We do not have guards, and if a patient is experiencing the symptoms we treat and would otherwise qualify for treatment, we would not turn them away. This post has created significant negative publicity for our business. Now, I am having trouble believing that there is anyone whose T is so low that they were on their way to the Low T Center, saw my post, and didn't go to get their T increased on the off chance 4 guards kicked them out for having too high of T. But the Low T Center does not see it that way, and their Low T lawyers have asked if I will delete the post and issue a retraction that would say, hey, just for the record, guards did not kick me out of the Low T Center for having too high of T. Now, I just want to be perfectly clear here that I will not be intimidated by the Low T Center or the Low T Center's lawyers. I do not plan to bow down to these Low T legal tactics and mind games. Now, I really do want to give the benefit of the doubt to the Low T Center. I have been looking up side effects of Low T, and that does include shrinking testicles, trouble concentrating, irritability, and I want to assume that it is the combination of these symptoms that have caused this joke to go entirely over their head. But that being said, if the Low T Center and the Low T lawyer do want to pick a fight, I am not going to back down. Lastly, I do want to address the fact that I did have a very good time at my sold-out show in Colorado, and the Low T Center of Colorado is not indicative of the population of Colorado.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
True story, folks. True story indeed.
Was it actually a testosterone clinic?
Yeah, it's an actual one.
What a terrible named clinic, the Low T Center.
Right.
I thought it was going to be like
putting it out there, man.
Yeah.
I think that's why he made the video. It's so
Right.
on the nose. It's like, I got to make a joke about this.
I can't believe they took it that seriously. I thought if anything they would lean into it.
And so many of these clinics that you'll find are nice people, but that are just bros. They would think the joke is hilarious, but yeah, people take.
Yeah, I have a feeling Montgomery Men's Health would be just fine with somebody joking around. But we got to hit this break. More news and views after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Feeling a winter chill? Then pack your bags and head to Wind Creek for our Champions of the Caribbean tournament. Simply visit your favorite Wind Creek location for qualifying rounds on Fridays in February. Finalists will travel to our award-winning Caribbean resort, Wind Creek, Curacao, in April for the championship round and a shot at $50,000 cash. Escape to the Caribbean and escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and on the Casinoverse app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge. Vote for my mommy! Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
It's time to show your sweetheart how much you care with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Valentine's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for your sweetie. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. If you want to get in on the program, that's the number T-Spear dialed. Hey, T-Spear.
Hey, good afternoon. It's a great Friday. Y'all are doing a great job. I'd like to go back to the issue with the young fans woman.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, it is said that Mark Twain went to a very, very fancy restaurant, probably in Washington or New York, because he was a world traveler. And he sees this gorgeous woman sitting there, and she's getting ready to order a meal. And he calls the waiter to bring her over to his table, which, of course, the waiter did. And she sits there and she orders a very extravagant lunch, and he orders the same. And then he says, "Madam, I'll give you $500 to split with me. You're the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my life." And she looks at him and he says, "Well, thank you. Yes, I'll be glad to do that." Then he says, "I'll give you $5 to split with me." And she said, "Sir, what do you think I am, a prostitute?" And he says, "We've already established that fact. We're just haggling over price now." Now, this young woman, because I call her a lady, she's certainly not a lady in anybody's book. This young woman is not only embarrassing, putting her children at risk to be bullied and embarrassed at school, but she's teaching them how to be a prostitute themselves.
Yeah.
Because when she's a prostitute and she advertises herself as a prostitute, what other signal do you send your child other than this is a good way to make a whole lot of money?
And there are a lot of young women, and women of a certain age too. A lot of them making that choice.
Yep.
I'm sure they are. And that's when they have absolutely lost all sense of self-respect and decorum. And that is part of the problem that we have in schools today. We have this problem within our children. You look down the street and you see some little girl and she's walking along and she looks like she is made up to be about 20, 25, and you find out that she's 14.
Yeah.
She's done nothing for herself, and other than to destroy herself and destroy her life. And parents who support this support destroying their children. That woman ought to be ashamed of herself. Of course she's not. And of course she could not give a tinker's damn what I say. However, I do have an opinion of it. You put yourself out as a prostitute, which is basically what you're doing. You're prostituting yourself. Then you get what you ask for. And that can be a very bad scenario in the future for you and your child.
Well, I appreciate the call, T-Spear.
Thanks a lot. Y'all keep up the good work. Have a good weekend.
You too, T-Spear.
272-9228. Now, the other story about love, and this actually ended so far in a happy ending, so to speak. You know, Tinder can be a hard place to find love, gentlemen.
Never been there.
You've never done Tinder? You ever swiped?
What now?
Before you got married, did you ever mess with Tinder?
I don't think so.
I remember
don't
signing
recall.
my buddy up, though, and I we
think-
had some fun at work.
I'm on Grindr now, but not by my own decision.
So that was on you on
Yeah,
there.
someone put me on there.
But
Me too.
you know, I wouldn't recommend, especially in this town, like Tinder and stuff, because there's not enough big enough pool.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of them are bots, and it's just go to church or something, or the bar at least. Like go meet.
That's a big breadth that you just gave there. Go to church or the bar. Like, nowhere in between.
Yeah, I don't know. Join a pickleball league. I don't know. Like, I'm sure it's not just all 50-something-year-old men with eye socks and shorts.
I think you're sure of that, but you're wrong.
So, you know, Tinder is not usually the place you think, well, you're going to actually find love. Maybe a hookup, maybe a fun fling, maybe a date or two.
Maybe your aunt.
Yeah. But when a guy named Alexander Zadon got out of his last relationship in 2021, he started looking for a girlfriend in Moscow the old-fashioned way, swiping through Tinder. He sank hours into sending out likes, messages, and the ongoing dates, which all went nowhere. So he decided to program OpenAI's GPT-2, ChatGPT, to be his dating assistant. His program conversed with 5,239 women on Tinder, scheduling him over 100 dates, and ultimately finding my wife.
Really?
My wife. Very nice.
Very nice.
He says, I really understand dating apps can be hard and embarrassing. After he heard about ChatGPT, he decided to use it to help break the ice. The program sounded like him, understood his interest, and could even schedule in-person dates through his Google Calendar. He trained his program to send likes to women who matched his preferences. He also filtered out profiles with photos of alcohol and zodiac signs in their bios, among other nuances he doesn't find attractive.
My man's got standards.
Yeah, he does.
The early version could send messages and hold a conversation, but had bugs at first. In one instance, ChatGPT asked a woman to, quote, go for a long walk in the woods after her first few messages.
Not creepy. Not creepy.
Chat, slow down,
Right.
ChatGPT. In another, ChatGPT scheduled him for a date and promised he would bring chocolate and flowers. When he arrived, empty-handed, unaware of the promise his digital assistant had made, she soured on him. He gradually updated his project as OpenAI and released GPT-3, 3.5, 4, and it slowly became a more thoughtful lover. So the dating assistant narrowed down 5,000 options to just one woman named Karina. The couple matched with each other in December 2022, and Karina says she was speaking with ChatGPT for the first few months of the relationship. After a few in-person dates with Karina, this fella paused ChatGPT from speaking with other women on Tinder. The relationship ventured offline, and the couple moved in together shortly after 2023. By the way, this looks like a guy who would use ChatGPT. I'll show y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a guy who would
It looks like a
come
chick
up with
that
this.
not realize she's talking to AI for how many months?
How does it feel, ladies, to know you're going to be on the other end of this now? You're going to be getting hit by bots.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to equality.
Yeah, but at least they won't get those pictures, so.
Oh, they will.
Hey, John.
So there's going to be some AI-generated images that will lead to a lot of women to being very disappointed at a first tryst.
So he
Good
kept
point.
updating this program, and he made it one last time to become his personal dating guru. Over time, GPT spoke less and less to Karina, and Alexander became the primary person speaking. The program already understood all of his dating preferences and shortcomings, so it was a useful tool in making him a better partner. At some point, the project wrote me a recommendation that maybe it's time to propose to Karina. He thought originally his AI project was hallucinating. He never wanted to get married, but then he understood. Karina said she wanted to go to a wedding, but ChatGPT thought she'd prefer attending her own. I took the advice, and she said yes. So is this like the first AI romance gone right?
Very
well. How long has it been?
Yeah. Well, and it seems like this is where it's going. I've been watching these reviews. Have y'all watched reviews of this Apple headset that's now out?
Watched a couple people wearing it the other day.
Yeah, I haven't seen any reviews. But I've watched
The
it.
detailed reviews, it's an amazing piece of technology. Now, it's the first generation. It's heavy on the head still.
You look like a doofus walking around. with it.
Yeah, walking around in public. But when you use it, apparently, walking around in public doesn't seem that crazy because it's like you can see the world just with these things on top of it. And now it's not perfect. People try to drive in it, and your depth perception is not exactly what it is in real life through those lenses.
Right.
But if this is the first generation, what you're probably going to is, in a few years, it'll be a contact lens.
Yeah.
It won't be this big old headset. And it's very powerful, like it fully immersive. And can you imagine a world where all your information, combine that with Neuralink, you have access to it like this guy did for dating and getting married?
Well, I mean, right now it's only at 3 foot length, arm's length.
Exactly. We're already addicted to the
Right.
smartphones. And so this is the weird world we're going in. In a way, it can be amazing. Like you can have these love stories gone right. You can see with like the Neuralink software, the chips in the brain, hey, if somebody's a paraplegic, they can now operate more easily in the world. I mean, there's all sorts of case uses where you're like, this is an amazing good for humanity. I don't see any downside. And then you start to see the dystopian
Yeah, let's say I'm
future.
a psycho killer and I can't get any chicks, but you know what? I can tell ChatGPT, hey, I need some love.
Right.
ChatGPT starts tricking them into it.
Well, and then does it become, it's just your chat bot talking to the other person's chat bot, and you're not actually connecting with, but if it's a true reflection of who you are and your preferences, it's a weird world we're heading into, folks. A very weird one. And it's one thing for, I think, folks, certainly your age, Eddie, but Craig and I's age, to be able to go, oh, this new tech's coming, it's cool, but it has downsides. I can't imagine being a child.
Yeah.
Being trained
Right.
on this stuff.
Right.
Like from the get-go, it's
And
what
that's
you
something
know.
With the grandkids now, my grandkids this weekend, when they get my phone, man, they know exactly where to go. If they want to look at pictures, they know what button to push to go to the
Yeah.
pictures and look. They know this stuff very well, and they're 3 years old.
But a lot are saying this is the future of movie making in particular because they have some programs that are fully immersive. These ones like you encounter dinosaurs and you're like, you don't smell them, but you hear them and your mind gets tricked. It's so photorealistic that you're like, whoa, this thing showed up in your face. So it's I think it's amazing in one breath, like what an achievement technologically, but I don't love the effects of where all this is going, how we're essentially merging with machines. And, I have my doubts about, let's say, all the why and wherefore of the universe. And, I'm still struggling and wrestling, folks. But there's part of me that's like, you're telling me you're going to make a digital god out of rocks that will have all the answers and run things for humanity. I think, have you read sci-fi?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here, guys?
Oh, thank you.
Like, some might call that the Antichrist.
Right. And what's funny enough, you don't hear the term Deus Ex Machina that much anymore, outside of like film critiques, and that's literally
what it is.
What it is. Terrifying.
Creepy stuff. Well, we got to hit this break, but first, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Well, Kim Williams and her team are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. They can guide you through that process, help teach you along the way from pre-approval all the way to closing day. But they can also help with refinance deals. It could be a cash-out refinance.
Right.
Maybe you want to get rid of that credit card debt, get that off your back, consolidate other debts. Could be you want to reinvest in yourself or your family with that equity you've built up in your home. But they're now doing a very special thing there at Alabama Home Mortgage. If you have student loans, outstanding student loans that you're really having trouble paying off, and you have equity built up in your home, they can now offer you a rate refinance. It's actually a much better deal than the usual cash out.
Right.
And this way you can sort of unload, get those student loans off your back. But to get the details, you need to call Alabama Home Mortgage today. That number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. You can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather. Hi, everybody. We've got weather changes fast approaching, but if you have plans this evening, no problem. Mostly cloudy. We're dry, but very mild. Overnight low 58. For the weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, periods of showers and thunderstorms. Locally heavy downpours at times. It's not going to rain all the time. 72 the high Saturday, near 70 on Sunday. The main event Sunday night into the overnight hours through Monday morning could be a few stronger storms. Be flexible with your plans. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Looking for a tractor, excavator, mower, ag implements, or other equipment? Capital Tractor is as close as your smartphone or computer. Find the best deals, financing information, and browse new and used inventory with just a click at capitaltractor.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Conservative Justice Sarah Stewart has the experience to lead Alabama's courts. As a tough-on-crime judge, Sarah Stewart presided over hundreds of cases, giving tough sentences to the worst criminals. Republicans can trust Justice Sarah Stewart to defend the Constitution and protect our families. On March 5th, vote conservative Republican Sarah Stewart for Alabama Chief Justice. Paid for by Sarah Stewart Campaign, 2029B, Airport Boulevard, Mobile, Alabama, 36606.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACB.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. You want to get in on the program? That's 272-9228. And thank you to East of the Rockies, who sent me this amazing Rick Rush painting of McGuire. And this is an official Rick Rush painting with the actual certification on the back. And apparently East heard me talking about how I don't care that roids were involved potentially. That year with McGuire and Sosa was amazing to watch as a child. It really was a lot of fun. And so thank you, East. That is a very generous gift. Thank you, sir. And appreciate the note, too. I won't read it on air, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very lovey-dovey, I think.
Yeah. No, it was very, very sweet. And East has been a long-time listener. Great guy. Really great man. Let's go to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are y'all?
Surviving, I think is the word. Surviving.
Well, it sounds like Joe Biden. He's surviving too.
Barely. I don't know. Now we're stretching the definition a little bit. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. 4 years at Bernie's. But anyway.
Yeah, good way to put that.
So, when I was in the store yesterday, of course, I tend to go towards all the entertainment stuff and those great captain's chairs. But as folks start to walk back more towards the backside of the store, that's where all those great appliances are. So, say if somebody wants to remodel a kitchen, they can just start shopping right there at Cohen's on the boulevard and pretty much get all of their needs met.
That's right. I mean, we have refrigerators, we have freezers. We have all this stuff to cook with, whether it's an oven or a range or a cooktop, a microwave. We have dishwashers. We have disposals, washers, dryers, grills. We can do as much or as little as anyone needs.
Well, and it's that confidence that people can have. It's not just the great product, but y'all can deliver. Y'all can help if something does happen to break. It's that service.
That's right. Yeah, everybody that you come in contact with is a Cohen's employee. So the delivery people are ours. If you choose for us to do the install of your dishwasher or oven, that guy's ours. We're not electricians, so sometimes you do need an electrician or a plumber if it's gas. But for the most part, it's all us. And then if you need service on your appliance, we have our own techs that come out and can repair your unit in your home.
Well, folks, you can always go to thinkcohens.com and shop from home, but I really encourage you to stop by and see them. 2515 Eastern Boulevard, right here in Montgomery. It's where they've been all these years, since I think the late 70s, and they are open 9 to 6 today and 9 to 4 on Saturdays?
That is correct.
Well, I appreciate the time as always, Mike.
Thank y'all. Have a good day.
You too. 272-9228. I think we got time for Ray Bird. Hey, Ray.
Yeah, man. This is the first time I ever called your show. Listen to it all the time.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, but I've got just real quick. I've got a friend of mine who is from Mexico. And I guess he's been up here for 15 years to make a better life for his family. Greatest guy in the world, hard worker. He did it the right way. One of my best friends I've ever had. And he let me know a few days ago he still has family. And I don't know I can't remember the name of the city in Mexico. But they have there's billboards and stuff going up in Mexico, right? It's been going on for the last 6 months. And the billboards have a picture of Joe Biden on it. And it says, Joe Biden made Mexico great again.
Wow.
It's you have to. I don't know where to find it or look it up, but it's like where he came from. You know, his crime rate and all that. But since they've let them all come across the border, all the criminals came over, and now their cities are flourishing, and they're not scared to walk the streets no more.
Man, yeah. Well, they're
Isn't that
getting
incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. And I'm not shocked given the policies of this guy and his administration, but heckgum, it's like we're...
Yeah, but to go and put billboards out in the city to express it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe Biden. You made Mexico great again. I guess they're, pretty much playing on the thing when Trump made America great again.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, Joe Biden made Mexico great again.
Yeah, greatness with the drug cartels and all the human trafficking. Really doing a great job. Oh, man.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later, maybe.
Thank you. Yeah, call again.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for listening, sir. Thank you. Well, we got to enter top of the hour break. More news and views after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he has ordered the military to prepare a plan for the evacuation of the population of the southern Gaza city of Rafah ahead of an expected ground invasion. In consumer news, more foods are being recalled in the wake of a deadly outbreak of Listeria food poisoning. They include things that may be part of a Super Bowl Sunday party menu: 7-layer bean dip, chicken enchiladas, cilantro salad dressing, and taco kits that are sold at Costco, Trader Joe's, and Albertsons, part of the growing recalls of products made by the Rico Lopez Foods Company out of Modesto, California. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 50 points, but the NASDAQ is up nearly 200. This is SRN News.
This is Dennis Prager. I am excited to announce the all-new Pragertopia Plus. You can listen to my show whenever it's convenient for you, all commercial-free and all on demand. Now with Prager Plus, search topics, guests, and segments all the way back to 2010. And now a truly exciting new benefit. My monthly online video get-together for Pragertopia Plus members only. This is where for an hour each month, Pragertopia Plus members get an exclusive chance to ask me anything. That's right, anything. It's on video. I'll be talking to you and answering your questions. We may even have a special guest every now and then. I've never done this. Submit your questions for me at Pragertopia.com. This is only available to Pragertopia Plus members. This is our chance to connect like never before. Go to Pragertopia.com or click the banner at DennisPrager.com.
Weather is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
I'm Johnny Adams with the Johnny Adams Law Firm, Alabama's personal injury law firm. Wishing you a fabulous day and a blessed evening. Stay weather alert.
Hi, everybody. We've got weather changes fast approaching, but if you have plans this evening, no problem. Mostly cloudy. We're dry, but very mild. Overnight low 58. For the weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, periods of showers and thunderstorms, locally heavy downpours at times. It's not going to rain all the time. 72 the high Saturday, near 70 on Sunday. The main event Sunday night into the overnight hours through Monday morning could be a few stronger storms. Be flexible with your plans. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
2 Alabama congressmen were taking part in the same Republican meeting in Mobile when they were able to react to the news about Joe Biden exhibiting signs of memory loss and declining mental state. Congressman Jerry Carl and Barry Moore are campaigning against each other in Congressional District 1, and they were presenting their differences as candidates to the Azalea City Republican women when the special counsel report from Robert Hur came out. Moore said that Hur's refusal to prosecute Biden for willful mishandling of classified documents due to his loss of memory is giving an opening for Biden to claim dementia and not run again. Moore says that the mental decline of Biden is very obvious and that Congress needs to employ the tools at their disposal to remove him in light of the trouble that our nation is in. Moore also said that the Justice Department should drop the same charges against Trump, but they won't. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A reward has been increased from $1,000 to $15,000 in order to get more information on a 2014 murder cold case. Charlie McCord was killed in his barbershop in Montgomery in October of 2014. New video has now been released of a man in a white shirt driving a gold vehicle who was seen walking near that barbershop on the day McCord died. McCord's family and the Montgomery District Attorney Daryl Bailey want to find this murderer. McCord leaves behind 8 children. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge.
Vote for my mommy!
Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You know, they used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way he got worse than me. But Lincoln...
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. We got Eddie and Craig Munger in the house today.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hello. And we got plenty of calls rolling in here. And in a second, we're going to get into the first week of the legislative session. Craig has been down there.
Oh, yes.
Or what was your Chinese name again?
Armal.
Armal.
Armand?
Armal.
Armal?
Does that mean white guy?
No, I think it means like second mouse.
Second mouse?
Yeah, because my brother was Damal, which is the biggest mouse.
Anyway, Armal has been down at the Coat Hill and been checking out what's happening at the legislative session. We'll get into that in just a second. Also, going back to Tucker Carlson, before he interviewed Putin, who is a balding man, pretty bald, Tucker gave some advice if you are becoming a bald man on what to do. And there's an Alabama connection to that. That's why we're going to play it as well. But first, let's go to the phones, talk to GW. He is up next. Hey, GW.
Hey, afternoon. I got 3 comments to see if you have any comments about them from your listening audience. One, after Biden was elected, you no longer heard of any mass killings or killings that I could recall that were perpetrated by someone that was Muslim as a result of doing a jihad. And there were a lot of killings overseas or killings in the United States, but they never publicized that they were a result of that type of religious belief. And I don't think they just disappeared. The second thing, I know we've all talked about the open border and the illegal aliens that are coming across, and there's no vetting, and you don't know who's going to come through. However, it affects every state. And I don't know if you guys were aware of what happened at Old Charlie's in Prattville. Were you?
No.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I mean, and it's closed down. I mean, and for those of you that are listening and don't know, you had someone that was hired to work there that was an illegal alien that took a lady, a young girl, 16, in the bathroom when she was with her family and raped her.
Yeah.
Right there while her family was eating dinner, then ran out the door. But I think what anyone could do now, based upon what the DOJ did, I guess we could all claim that we're just a nice older person that has a poor memory, and so we shouldn't be prosecuted on any type of crime that we might commit because we can no longer realize that we had the intent to do that. It kind of sounds that way.
Yeah, it gives it a reed thin excuse, but I think also we were talking about that at the beginning of the show, GW, that that was almost describing his lack of memory, that he couldn't remember things. That was almost worse than being charged. I think this is the beginning of the end of Joe Biden. This was the first move.
That's actually not a defense. I mean, if that's a defense, then you can say, well, he killed somebody and he can't remember it.
Right.
I mean, he's still responsible, but does this not smack of a lot of similarity to what they did with Hillary Clinton when the FBI investigated what she did?
Right.
She did all this crime, but we just don't think we're going to prosecute because it's not the thing to do. I mean, it's the same exact scenario.
Yep.
But I agree with you. I mean, I can't see how you can't have it both ways. You can't be so incompetent that you cannot be charged with a crime that doesn't necessarily allow a defense of incompetency. Well, unless he would if he was so incompetent, that is a defense. If he's so incompetent that he can't be charged with a crime, there's no way you can be president of the United States.
Right. And
I can't see how that's even constitutional.
well, and we played that
be
press
honest with you.
conference yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but I mean, the reporters, and it wasn't just Peter Ducey of Fox, it was all of them, smelled blood in the water.
Every one of them
Yep.
were like that.
And he looked
But-
awful yesterday, too. It was like one of the worst decisions they've made. Him going out there trying to prove how, he's innocent and how he's
They made him walk.
got it together, and it made him look even worse.
They made him walk the plank.
Yeah, and then he said the Mexican president, the Mexican president in Egypt.
Yeah, it's just...
That was a joke. That's
Yeah.
a joke.
Well, I appreciate the call, GW. I really do, sir.
Take care.
See you, bud.
272-9228. Let's go to Clint real quick. Hey, Clint.
Hey, the statement that was put out about President Biden yesterday was nothing new. We already knew the boy had dementia, something going on. But what is surprising to me is why would his own administration put something like that out? To me, it tells he was set up.
Yeah.
Because we all know President Biden is not in charge of nothing. Son, there's somebody behind the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the man was set up. Possibility. It's just, it's a theory. Possible.
No, I think that's
he cannot
exactly
win.
what this is. I've been saying for a while, it won't be the Republicans that take out Joe Biden. It'll be the Democrats or, say, the establishment at the time of their choosing. And it makes sense to get the ball rolling here and get it done before your convention. You have a broker convention,
Yes.
you can pick who you like. And he gets to go out with a cherry on top and hailed as this guy that got us out of this worst COVID thing, and he's helped fighting
Yeah.
back the Russians. And yeah, I think that's what's coming.
But he gets away with the same thing they charging Trump for.
Right. Well,
He gets a free ride because he's stupid, and Trump gets charged because he's smart. And what's up with that?
it's like that Dave Chappelle SNL monologue. It's like, this man didn't pay taxes. It's because I'm smart.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Have a great weekend, guys.
You too, Clint. Now, let's go to, real quick here before we go to Duke. This is the advice from Tucker Carlson if you're balding as a man. It's a new segment called Ask Tucker or something
Yeah,
like that.
I saw a good one today.
Yeah, and this has an Alabama
really?
nexus to it. Let's listen in.
Welcome back to Ask Tucker. You get to ask me anything because I'm not afraid of people. And then I get to give you the answer. I'm 22 and I'm already going bald. Should I just shave it off? Well, my own personal view of this is, who cares what a man's hair looks like? Honestly, you can tell I don't care that much about my own. All men look the same. That's the truth. They're furry, they're loud, they're kind of lumpy. You wouldn't want to see one naked.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the male body. Nobody. So really, why are you worried about it? But as long as you are worried about it and you are going bald, you should know there's probably nothing you can do about it. So what's next? Well, you have two options. You can either, and think deeply about this, go for the rug option, the fake hair.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, and too few people do it, and those who do never admit it, but I'm just going to be blunt with you. If you do it, go full 70s pimp wig.
Now, who do you think he is going to cite as full 70s pimp wig?
Oh, no.
Alabama
Just like
connection, right?
Dacron, not
Please
even
don't.
joking around. Now, hardly anybody does this. But there is one person who still does, and he's in public life. In fact, he's the chairman of the House Urban Services Committee. And his name is Mike Rogers of Alabama. And I want to put his picture on the screen. Now, look at that hair. All of which was made by the DuPont Company of Bloomington, Delaware. It was 100% a reclaimed petroleum product. And you look at Mike Rogers and you're like, everybody knows you're wearing a wig. Why are you going to the trouble to do it? Why are you pretending when the ruse isn't working? And then you realize Mike Rogers gets off on the fact that you know it's a wig. You know it's a wig, he knows it's a wig, but nobody says a word about it. It's sick, actually. It's a weird little pleasure he gets out of it. So
Oh, no.
So Tucker, and I know it's a huge account, but I sent it to the Twitter message. I'm like, hey, I talked about it, and I got some flack for it. And in particular, folks, when I said the Liz Cheney of Alabama, the one question I was asked behind the scenes was, why'd you have to bring up his hair? I'm like, because everybody knows.
Bring up his hair.
Everybody knows.
I frequently have to get information from his office, so I am declining to comment.
If you could just get me the kind of glue. I mean, that's
Gorilla Glue.
That's some good
It's
stuff
Gorilla
they
Glue.
got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wasn't he the one, by the way, that went after Gates during the speaker
Yeah,
race?
somebody reminded
I
me
would
of, your
avoid
head fall off.
hasty movements if that was the right
Stay put. That was it was the helmet. That's why I
Yeah.
got to find out about this glue.
You got like the hodgepodge that white ladies use for crafting. It's just
I thought you were trying to be good.
No, what?
You still have to work with his office?
You know what? I would be theoretically a person who is wearing a dead squirrel upon their cranium might
beaver
use like
pelt,
a
yeah.
hodgepodge
Right,
type situation.
right.
I'm not commenting at all on Mike Rogers'
Okay,
hair.
all
or
right.
lack thereof.
Let's let Tucker finish.
It's sick, actually. It's a weird little pleasure he gets out of it. So you can go that route, and I'm not judging you if you do. Or you can shave it all off. But I would just warn you, if you shave off all of your hair, you got to stay thin. You can't get fat. You have to stay fit. That's why almost every bald man you ever see is like a triathlete or would-be triathlete. So if you commit to that, no more McDonald's for you. But if you fall off the wagon, go full Mike Rogers, because at least it's kind of funny, honestly. And there's got to be a woman out there who likes it.
No, I don't think there is.
No, there isn't.
I really don't think there is.
man. By the way, there is things you can do for hair loss. By the way, there's been proven things, so don't lose hope, guys. But if you're not willing to do those things like derma rolling and using like minoxidil or something like that, then yes, go ahead and get rid of it. Nobody cares.
Well, and I love that when I made those jokes, I'm not the only one seeing it.
No.
And I just love that
Dude,
Tucker.
Stevie Wonder sees that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. And yet they're so sensitive about it.
That's
He would, he would confuse like a Cherokee warrior about 150 years ago. Really disappoint him. Oh.
No, I would love to bury the hatchet. If Mike Rogers wants to do the hair pull test here on the show, we'll film it. I'm happy to do it. If he wants to settle the record.
Heck yeah.
So let's go to Duke. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
Boy. Oh, man, y'all are no good. Y'all are no good, boy. Why y'all picking on this poor cat, man, with his damn wig on his head, a mop or broom on his head, whatever he's walking around with.
Petroleum product? Yeah.
You know, Duke, I've never met you in person, more's the pity, but you sound like a bald man. Is that,
boy,
is that the case?
It's a good sense up here, boy. I had to shave mine off years ago, see.
Yeah, there you go.
know, and I don't understand it. You know, I hate to be racist right off the bat, but why do white
I hate to be this.
Bobby Bright, got that damn afro on the side.
Wait, start over again. We laughed.
I never got over the racist part.
Thank you, boy. But anyway, I love my smooth, slick, bald head.
Oh, but you're wondering why the white guys keep the things on the friar tuck, kind of the things on the side there?
I don't understand that either.
Afros on the side, you know. Why are you trying to save it? It's gone. It's gone. Bye-bye. Let it
And not
go,
only
man.
that, just
Let it
shave
go.
it. It seems like it'd be much easier
Yeah.
to take care of,
Keep
but
it
more
low.
efficient.
It could be they don't want to take the time to have to shave it all the time.
But just keep it real low, close to your head or something. You know, cut
Yeah,
down
that's
low or
like, you know who
something.
does that very well is Jason Statham. He doesn't razor shave it, but he like buzzes it on the areas where it's balding, and it looks fine.
I like the comb over.
You know,
I appreciate a good
I
comb
got this
over.
little hump on the top of mine right down in the center. I got the little hump. That's where all the good sense located right there. That's the only part I my shade, you know. But otherwise, you know.
Duke, this conversation's making me uncomfortable.
But let me go on. That's not the reason I called y'all. So sidetrack me on that one. Not my good friend T Spear. I call her Thunder. That T stand for Thunder. You guys who don't know already.
Right.
Okay. She mentioned about this lady. I had edited to kind of update me because I kind of missed part of your show already. But she said something about this lady had a thing on the back of her car.
To fill you in, Duke, it was a woman in Florida. She was sending her kids to a private Christian prep school, and she decided in the carpool each day as she was dropping off her kids, she put a full back window on her SUV, a full back window decal, advertising her OnlyFans account.
T-Spirit, I hate to disappoint you, sweetheart, but they doing Cash App nowadays, and they got guys paying the women bills for them every month. You approach a lady nowadays, they told me that you tell them when they look good, they ask you, do you have any money? How much money? So you need to catch up, T-Spirit. Now these women, how you think Montgomery got to be number 7 in the nation?
Oh, and STDs.
STD and all this stuff.
But we're broke.
It's what you get for going to church.
Huh?
Sorry. That's an actual story. Go look it up.
Yeah.
Don't get me started with the church folks now. They I need to tell her, y'all need to tell them about church folks.
What was that? You're talking about that pastor that was, spreading it out like Halloween candy. Yeah. What's wrong with y'all here in Montgomery? I don't
He
understand.
just started. Now, this hasn't just started yesterday.
Oh, no.
Women been selling
It
it for
is not.
years.
No, there's a
They've
great
been selling
book
it for years.
by Thomas Sowell. What is it? White Liberals and Black Rednecks. Yeah. And it goes into kind of the culture of the South. You had all these folks after the Civil War, coming down, trying to educate all the population, white and black alike. And one of the gripes is that in the South, going to church is much more of a social club and time to meet a date and have fun. And these Puritans from the North are like, what are y'all doing? This is not the time and the place. And the problem's still there.
Yeah.
Hey, George. When me and my boy were young cats back in high school, we used to go to the Sunday school conventions to see how many phone numbers we could get from the girls.
This is what I'm talking about.
We started young.
Rotary telephone, I'm sure.
We watched the sisters in the church winking at the deacon over in the corner in the church. They meeting up. Everybody knew they were going together. So, but back to the women, Miss T-Spirit. The corporate American women been selling them for years to get in this position they've gotten in over the years now. They ain't just started today. This girl, she upgrading it now with cash apps and doing the things on the back of the car. Yes.
So wait, you would want, if you're married and your wife wants to do sex stuff on the internet, you want her advertising that sex stuff at the school that you're sending your child to.
If me and her got to understand about all that now, if me and her got to understand about it, but
would you want that understanding?
I'm not a weak man like that to allow my wife to do something like that.
What about the daughter that's got to explain to her
if she's my
mom's a
girlfriend on the
whore?
side, if she's my girlfriend on the side, and she says that's her lifestyle she wants to be, and she been transformed to be this kind of individual, and I can't convince her that she don't need to do that. So she said, the world saying, well, you can transform into what you want to be nowadays, and she said she got to do this thing right here. I'm asking you, just bring me my cut.
So you want to be a pimp? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh no!
Well, she got it.
PIMP.
I take care of cash out stuff for her, and I got to get. I'm an employee right now.
He's going to be an accountant.
Yeah,
he's going to be. An accountant.
Which is like you're going to be a pimp with less fur.
Yeah, we got fancy name for it nowadays. See?
Mm-hmm.
Relaxation manager.
And I don't think Duke's telling any tales out of school, because wasn't there a kind of a blues hit not that many years ago? I left home to be with my side piece. Like there's all sorts of stuff like that,
But let me take it a step further, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was in this boutique shop one day, and I saw this little skirt, got the little mesh little thing down the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you see through.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what? I asked the lady, I said, what, how do women wear this? She said, I said, how she cover herself up? She said, she don't. She showed her naked skin, so when she go in the club, she entice these men, the big money spenders, that want to make it rain, to make it rain. See how bad they want to make it rain. She want to cause temptation.
Duke, I hate to interrupt. What in God's name were you doing in a boutique?
I was taking care of some business.
Oh, some business.
Some business.
Back to the
What
accounting.
size was this business?
Huh?
What size was this business? Was it big business or small business?
It's big business.
I collected some money. How about that one?
Oh, okay. All right.
I was collecting some money, baby boy.
And also, Duke, some ladies are like, you shouldn't be wearing that skirt with those tree trunks. Like, what are you doing?
Huh?
You're breaking the damn thing.
Now, here's what I want. Now, I know I got to get off here in a few minutes, but This is AI. This AI deal right here. Now this guy using the AI, got him a girlfriend, right? A wife or whoever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I want one of these AI guys to create me something to give me the Trump power.
Trump power.
Kind of power Trump got over the white and them. I want that kind of power.
You gave up that
Somebody
power
create
long
something
ago when
like
you
that.
shaved the hair, Duke. You have to do the comb over. That's where the
Yeah.
power comes from.
It's
You
like-
already gave it up.
It's like Samson.
Yeah. Where was the Delilah in this story? Who did you shave the head for?
Huh?
Who'd you
I shaved
shave
for
your
me.
head for?
I shaved it for me. I
Ah,
shaved it for
come
me.
on.
Look good for me first.
You lie like a rug.
Then my wife, she started liking it, you know. But when that first time I shaved it, my daughter cried like a baby when I first cried. I shaved it, boy. She thought a monster came into the house. She did. She actually cried though, for real.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah.
Looking too different. But I appreciate the call, Duke. I don't know how to give you those Trump powers. I don't think AI is quite ready to do that. No.
I want it though. I just want it for a day. I just what all I can do. What all I can,
Get a spray tan. That's the best I can
And
tell
if
you.
y'all flipping over for a minute, so I want you to turn over that way, flip over that way, but flip. I want you to balk for me a couple times, you know.
Well, I appreciate
There you go.
it as always, Duke. Always fun.
I said spray tan. It look like look like a Hershey's bar covered in Cheeto dust.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like Trump's look is so over the top.
It's so hilarious.
And it's very contrived, very thought through. And he's looked that way for a few decades.
Yeah, quite some time.
And it's brilliant for branding, but
He's covered in orange zest perpetually. It's bizarre.
yeah, I mean, I do love that he was a good sport. Everybody, for instance, we were making jokes about Mike Rogers' fake hair.
Yeah.
But Trump constantly was getting the jokes about his fake hair, and he was a good sport about it.
Didn't Jimmy Fallon mess it up? or
Yeah,
something?
and
Yeah.
Fallon got in trouble for doing it, not from Trump. Everybody's like, "You're humanizing him.
Right.
How dare you humanize him?" I'm like, oh, goodness gracious!
Expected to see some goblin operating like Trump controls under his hair.
Right. It's just, it's silly season, but we do have to hit a break here. First, this part of the program brought to you, again, by Montgomery Men's Health. And men, it's starting to happen a lot younger, where urologists are even recommending that guys start getting their testosterone checked at the age of 18. Right. And, there are a lot of guys suffering from low T, and sometimes they don't even realize it, but it affects quality of life big time. Things like, lack of motivation, energy, drive, loss of muscle mass, more weight gain, especially around the middle. It happens as you get older. Even a decrease in sex drive. Maybe you feel like you just got a fog hanging over you as you're going through life. If you don't know, that could very well be signs of low testosterone. So the providers at Montgomery Men's Health will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99, and they have treatments there for low T that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
Brother.
That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, faster metabolism. You might even notice an increased libido, otherwise known as sex drive.
Nothing wrong with that, Joe.
And so you can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. That number for Montgomery Men's Health, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com today to book your appointment. And be sure to tell them that Joey from News of Views that fell on the radio sent you. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey there, River Region area. Dawson Electric hopes you had an amazing Christmas and a fantastic New Year. As we step into 2024, it's time to tackle those resolutions and make sure your home or business is in tip-top shape. And for all your electrical needs, there's one name you can trust, Dawson Electric. Whether you're planning a remodel, constructing a new home, or require service for your existing electrical systems, Dawson Electric has got you covered. Need emergency generators installed? Looking to enhance your outdoor space with stunning landscape lighting? Dawson Electric is the answer. We do it all for homes and commercial spaces alike. For more information, you can find us on Facebook. Search for Dawson Electric Company, LLC. Hit the like button and stay connected with us. We're happy to speak with you at any time. Just call 334-270-8024. Say it with me. That's 334-270-8024. For all your electrical service needs for home or business, call us at Dawson Electric. Dawson Electric, lighting up your world.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Have you ever considered turning your home into a rental and build wealth at the same time? People throughout the river region are doing that right now. By investing wisely in the right property or turning your current home into a rental is the secret. Hiring a property manager to professionally manage your property is the way to prosperity. Our company does all of the advertising, personally showing prospective tenants, does a thorough background check and credit report before moving forward. Over 15 critical services are provided to our clients in protecting the asset, but also providing the best residence in your home possible. Collecting rent on time and frequent inspections help landlords feel better about renting their house, and to provide clean, well-kept homes that anybody would be proud to call home. For a complete list of property management services, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
The Montgomery Performing Arts Center presents Samantha Fish featuring Jesse Dayton.
Your kiss is like a death wish. If she could, she would be still. But the story goes just like this.
Don't miss one of the most dynamic forces in the blues world today, Samantha Fish featuring Jesse Dayton, live Wednesday, February 14th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now at the Impact Box Office or online at Ticketmaster.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey, Eddie, and Craig, both in the studio as well. Say that again.
You know what I said.
What'd you
You're a
say?
Plant. I said Sratsvutia.
Oh, no. Don't be speaking Russian. I'm not Russian.
He feigned. Like, you see that? That's exactly what a Russian would say.
What would a Russian say?
Yeah. I know you're Russian, but where are you going? I'll be here all week.
He's an acquired taste, folks. Let's go to Fred.
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
Another day. How you doing, Fred?
Well, now that we've gone over the finer points of going to church for a hookup and the high-tech pimping, I'd like to go back to the hair situation.
Okay.
Got a, the what you call the friar tuck thing. I call it the Ben Franklin look.
Mm-hmm.
When people like Joey, a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Fifield, he's got the horseshoe thing working and he grows it long in the back.
Mm.
Well, I know now what it's called. He informed me it is a skullet.
Skullet?
Yeah. The old skullet.
I think Franklin at least had syphilis to blame for his.
Well, there's that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I told a friend of mine once, I said, damn, man, your hair's going away. He said, well, at least it's not turned. No, I said, your hair. I said, you're getting bald on the top. He said, it might be, it's not, it might, I can't remember what it was. He said something about mine being greasy. It didn't turn gray and it didn't turn loose. something. I don't know, because his hair was 3/4 of the way down his back, but there was nothing but shine on the top.
Well, I've got pulled up a picture of a skullet on the live stream here. Again, we haven't been pushing this today, but Joey Clark live on YouTube. And yeah, that's a look. You got to be a confident man to pull that off.
Balding with a perm is bold.
Like, I almost want to say this guy we're looking at, his name is Uncle Laser. Now, I know that's an actual comedian.
Yeah.
Who's probably is rocking this look. But, man, that's something bold right there.
Dude, that guy
Yes,
parties
sir.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Papier wears it well.
Yeah.
He wears it well. But anyway, all right, you fellas are a little crazy on this Friday afternoon, just so you know. I didn't know if you realized that.
Oh, we were crazy every day.
We are positively.
I'm saying the show's kind of low energy today. with
Yeah,
this
actually,
bump
I was
going
thinking
on.
the same thing.
It's low energy, but the topics, I question you sometimes, but I can dig it.
I'm just reading the news here, all right?
Hey, look, did you watch Biden last night?
I did.
God,
it's awful,
man. It's just I don't get it. I don't understand how we got here to begin with. I mean, this son of a gun doesn't know what day it is.
Right?
Talking to dead people and putting the president of the Sudan or whatever is the head guy in Mexico, and
right.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, when you're confusing the Egyptian president with the Mexican president as you're trying to show off your mental acuity, it's just it's not working out for you, Joe.
Not at all.
Well, and here's the shame is like Biden, for whatever you think of him over the years, he's always been kind of a slick, capable politician in the sense he can weasel his way out of anything with his words, and that skill is still there. It's just atrophied.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a guy who's used to getting away with just BSing folks, and now it's sort of dropping off, and it's ugly to watch.
Yeah,
It really is.
every third word out of his mouth sounds like he's trying to make up a name for a new pharmaceutical product. It's really embarrassing.
Well, how do the leaders of the other countries look at this? How weak and silly do we look?
Well, and I think it was a thing Putin said that's actually fairly true is presidents come and go, but the administrative state stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Well, that changed a little bit under Trump, and if he gets back in there, which I really hope he does, I believe that's going to take a major flip-flop.
Yeah,
or get a little bit of a beat down anyway, if he gets to stay there very long, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the call, Fred, as always. Great to hear your voice, man.
Y'all have a good day. Bye.
You too, Fred.
Let's go to east of the Rockies. Hey, East.
Hey, all right. I was going to try to use what little Russian I know, but I don't want to get your special guest upset. So nada. But hey, look, one of your best commentaries on hair loss was given by none other than the Three Stooges in a short that they did called "Disorderlies in Court." And if you want to look at that, especially if you're really down, it'll lift you up. Larry finds a tarantula on a guy's head. Mo shoots it with the bailiff's gun, and says it's a divot. And that ever since I heard him say that, I was a boy. I thought, you know what? If it goes away, if it goes gray, that's just the way it's going to be. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't want to have somebody blow my hair off my head in court,
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched any Three Stooges, so
look, this is quintessential Three Stooges. I mean, it's got music, it's got dancing, it's got goofy people in the jury. You can't do better than that. They were just barely into sound movies then, and it's hilarious, the cinematography. But, our guy, I try to tell people that have those hair helmets, man, hey, look, just go with it, man. We love you. Now, there's some people that do have massive scars and stuff on their head, and I'm thinking, get a driving cap, that you can't go wrong with that. And I know you wear one from time to time.
Well,
Not for that reason.
Okay, I was about to say. Hey, by the way, thank you for the gift and thank you for the note, especially. I really do appreciate it.
Yes. I enjoy your work and Monger. Look, you guys have got a great lineup on 1819, and every night when I come home, my son's got your bumper sticker on the back of his Kia Soul.
Hey, there we go.
Like it.
So it makes me feel good, and I love to have cutting edge media right here in our state. We don't have to import it from somewhere else.
There you go. We love to hear that, East. I wanted to make a joke about an yeast infection. I was hoping you'd lead me into that, but I'm just, since you were so complimentary of my good self.
My wife would call it that in a minute, because she did not know that people called me East of the Rockies. And somebody said, "Oh yeah, your husband's the East," and she's like, "What?" That was a conversation I wish I had.
Well, there are less frightening double lives that you can find out your husband is living than just like an anonymous radio caller. I think you're good, East.
Yeah, if that's the worst there is, man, we're in good shape. At least I don't have a big sticker on the back of my window. So.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a whole radio family?
Yeah. Yeah. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you.
See you, buddy.
272-9228. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of comments rolling in. Again, Joey Clark Live on YouTube. You can always like and subscribe. The Romex Angler chimed in at about the top of the hour saying, "Joey, I must finally admit your beard is coming along nicely." That's no way to talk about a lady. Can you be more influential to your cohorts and maybe institute a mandatory facial hair policy? Clean shaven is a thing of the past. Now, I know for a fact that Romex Angler has a very impressive beard.
Yes, he does.
Like a ZZ Top
Bragger.
beard.
Yeah, he's a bragger.
But what do y'all think about, growing beards?
I think you don't have to whenever you have just such a splendid physique, such as I do. Romex Angler, I'd like to see you in person before your flippant beard comments come in, just saying that. But also, I've tried to grow a beard, and unless I'm also going to be joining the Nation of Islam, it is not a good look. So I can't.
Yeah,
So sorry.
Eddie?
54 years old. This is my beard.
I remember when you grew that little Freddie Mercury mustache. It was cute.
It comes in patches. Even my wife will start calling me Patches. That's when I know it's time to shave. So.
Patches.
Not everybody needs
Depending on your son.
Not everybody needs to grow a beard just to hide a weak chin.
Yeah. I have a jawline that was
Thank you,
chiseled by
brother.
Michelangelo.
Thank
I
you.
need not a beard.
See, I don't.
Romex Angler.
I don't, so,
I do if I push my chin out a little bit.
But Romex goes on, he says, "Well, my head is bald. Does that equate to me being strong-minded?" I like the way you think, Eddie.
No, it actually means that you have a. It actually means that you have a excessive amount of 5-alpha reduction in your body. Testosterone 5-alpha.
Is there nothing you don't know?
Testosterone, which causes hair loss.
Like, why are you knowing everything? I'm feeling like the callers now. Why don't you shut up? He knows everything.
I'm sorry. But yeah, it's if you were to take a 5-AR inhibitor, your hair might grow back, but your beard would probably lessen.
And then a fella named Pepper.
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 What up, Pepper?
He says OnlyFans is how I pay for my beard products.
I see it. That's a decent beard. Yeah. I'm looking at it. You're a handsome man, Pepper.
I wonder if he uses beef tallow
on his beard.
Yeah, some people do that.
I use beef tallow for my my cast iron, but that's about it.
Why would you put it for your beard? For the like?
Some people have
soften it
a
up
beard
little bit?
balm that has a more of a tallow base, which
Cats like that.
Oh yeah, but dogs like it too.
Yeah.
No, yeah. When I make food, all my fat, or if I use ground beef, all my ground beef fat goes to my cats. And they eat it up.
They love it, don't they?
Love it, love it, love it.
Let's go to Eric the dog. Hey, dog.
What up, dog?
What up? Hola.
Hola.
Did anybody else find it strange that Biden was asking them how that stuff happened in his administration that he was supposedly responsible for, while they're questioning his memory?
I think it was more of a theoretical question on his part.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, he's like, I got all this done. Did I just forget about it, man? It's like, I don't think you were in charge, Joe.
Yeah.
What did he get done, by the way? I'm confused.
Yeah, well,
They spent a bunch of money on the
Well,
CHIPS
the
Act
country-
and Inflation Reduction Act that didn't really do that.
No, it didn't.
Induce Inflation Act, You know, and the other thing is that guy said that the circumstances between Trump's papers and his papers weren't the same because Trump wouldn't willingly give over the papers. Well, Trump thought he had a legal right to those papers, and Biden knew he didn't. So, I mean,
right.
You know,
no, good point.
This duplicity that they're doing is just. I think this guy set him up to have it taken apart, used against him.
I think that is the case. This is sort of the beginning of the end for Joe. I think the operators they've had their use of him. Let's see if he goes quietly. Now, that's one thing. If Biden is clear they're trying to push him out, can you imagine him just like not giving up?
Yeah, that'd be so
Yeah.
great.
When you when you're senile and angry, yeah, you double down.
Yeah, he'd be like Leo in Wolf of Wall Street. I ain't leaving.
Right. What if he comes out and grabs the mic? You're trying to run me out of here.
Now I'm thinking like Biden comes out and goes, and he's just eats a guy's goldfish in front of the entire nation.
Those men have been giving me drugs.
If he brings out the midgets and the rolling board, then you better be careful.
Nancy Pelosi tried to take me in an elevator.
Hey, man, I actually got an OnlyFans account now, man. Well, I appreciate it, Eric.
All right, Joe.
See you, dog.
This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And there at Pest Pro, Ashley and her team are ready to help you with all of your pest control problems. I would say make them your everyday pest control company. But right now, termite season right around the corner, especially with all this moisture we've been getting. And they're now offering, but you got to ask for it, a free termite inspection.
Yes, they are, Joey.
And a free estimate, too. If they notice, hey, here's what you need to solve the problem. Folks, you want to do preventative measures when it comes to termites. Homeowners insurance does not cover termite damage or treatment, so you might as well just get the treatment done before there's any damage. Pest Pro has the Termidor HP2 injection unit.
Very impressive.
Very impressive unit. They essentially can lay down bait. So if termites do hit your property, they hit that bait first.
Right.
Pest Pro comes out and takes care of them. Again, they'll do a free termite inspection and estimate right now, but you got to ask for it when you call 265-9990. That's 265-9990. You can also check out more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team, that Joey and Eddie and Craig, those fellas on the radio, that News and View show that we sent you. Now, before we hit our last break, Craig, you have been down at the legislature this week?
Yes. Oh, yes, all week.
So
all 3 days.
Kind of an open question, like what's the vibe so far?
Very quiet. Especially before the governor gave her State of the State address, it was very quiet.
Which, by the way, I saw a few clips of that. I'm just to be blunt, she doesn't look good.
That's old. That's the difference I was talking about. That's the difference between like Joe Biden, who has an actual medical issue. But yeah, she did have some difficulty getting down from this little stoop. And
it is what it is.
It is, yeah. It is what it is. So she gave the State of the State, and everyone was very much looking forward to it. We got a copy of it pretty quickly, but she talked about gambling. That was obviously what everyone was looking for. They didn't know if she was going to drop that on there, and everyone knew because 1819 obviously got an exclusive look at the gambling legislation beforehand. So we had sort of leaked what we were going to be expecting, and she confirmed that she's really looking into what the legislature's doing. And then after that, on Wednesday, they had this big press conference where the guys that are pushing the bill, Chris Blackshear, Greg Albritton, Sam Jones, and I'm forgetting one, Andy Witt. They got up there and they talked about what it's going to do, what it's going to offer. They tried to make it seem like it's about the people, and we established this, it's going to be about the people. And I think fair enough, but also why is this being done in smoke-filled rooms? Why there was no public hearings? There was no discussion about it. And of course, one reporter tried to ask that, and he asked it in the most R-worded way possible, and it didn't get the answer that he wanted because, like I said, R-worded. And I think it was a decent question, but I guess we'll find out the answer to those. And yeah, and even since then, everyone's been a bit hush-hush. It harkens back to the gas tax age where nobody wanted to give a clear answer. People are afraid. And this is where and I've said this before, I said this on Jeff's show a while back, actually the other day. These are people who are not used to having to play long-form politics are now in that game because If you put a yes on this legislation in the House, that's where it's starting. You put a yes on it in the House, that is going to have an effect come election day. Now, whether that's negative or positive really depends on where you live. But also, do you want to put that yes vote that's going to bite you in the butt come election day, and for just to fail in the Senate? So you put a yes vote on something that's going to crush you, and then it goes nowhere anyway. But if you put a no vote on it, how is that going to affect your relationship with leadership? Are there going to be powers that be that come at you next election cycle to really put some money to get you out of there? Are any of your bills going to come to the floor because leadership has control over that? This is big boy politics.
They can essentially whip the House into shape easier than I think the Senate.
Yes.
And thus the Senate remains a bit of a roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
I have some just clarification questions that I guess we'll get into in the coming days. But, when they say, for instance, open bid in these particular areas, I'm like, does that mean that any company, like Trump himself, could come in and bid for that location?
It seems like, and they don't, and we were originally told that there was going to be a cap on that bid, and it seems that is no longer the case. There is no top end to that bid.
See, I like that. That's how I criticized the last time they did this. It was giving the game away. Now at least you have this open bid, make plenty of money for the state, and you can get a true competitor that might actually run a top-notch casino as opposed to some of these folks who are I don't want them grandfathered in.
Like Green Track. Yeah. Green Track's rough. And that's also, when they mentioned the counties that would be approved to have these establishments in them, one is in Greene County, one's in Macon County.
Right.
And those exist. And then there's, of course, the existing Porch Creek one. So that's in Elmore and the other two that are escaping me at the moment. But they said specifically that we're not talking about institutions, we're talking about counties. So that doesn't mean, just because it's in Greene County and just because it's in Macon County, doesn't mean that Green Track or Victory Land absolutely gets the okay on this. I will be interested to see if that actually plays out.
Yeah. No, that's an improvement, a big one. That's for me was a big sticking point.
Yeah, but I will say that I have my suspicions that that's going to be the case. But I think Greene County can do better, and I think Macon County can do better. These old, dilapidated structures that don't really look like much. Sure, maybe you could put some money and fix them up now that you have this openness to it. But we'll have to see. And I make this prediction. I made it on Jeff's show as well. Because it puts the onus and it gives some money to people at the county level, you are going to see a large number. I won't say a large number. You'll need two hands to count the number of people that go to jail about this in the next couple of years. Because if you know anything about county politics and municipal politics, it is dirty, 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 dirty. Very dirty. And these people, these aren't Rhodes Scholars either, so they're not great at covering up their tracks. So you're going to see some folks go to jail about this because the opportunity for some form of corruption is going to be so high. And I know that they have this enforcement arm that they're talking about working on it. That's not going to be under Aaliyah. It's not going to be under the AG's office. I don't see a way that they do this seamlessly. There's going to be some huge stumbles along the way, I anticipate.
Well, we got to hit this break. Ray Bowles, hopefully, with Prattville Carpet when we come back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. When you call the professionals at Clark with plumbing needs, you can count on quality service, flexible appointments, and affordable pricing. For more information, visit clarkcomfort.com. Better call Clark, 277-2125. Alabama certification number 09098.
Hi, everybody. We've got weather changes fast approaching, but if you have plans this evening, no problem. Mostly cloudy. We're dry, but very mild. Overnight low 58. For the weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, periods of showers and thunderstorms, locally heavy downpours at times. It's not going to rain all the time. 72 the high Saturday, near 70 on Sunday. The main event Sunday night into the overnight hours through Monday morning could be a few stronger storms. Be flexible with your plans. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Conservative Justice Sarah Stewart has the experience to lead Alabama's courts. As a tough-on-crime judge, Sarah Stewart presided over hundreds of cases, giving tough sentences to the worst criminals. Republicans can trust Justice Sarah Stewart to defend the Constitution and protect our families. On March 5th, Vote conservative Republican Sarah Stewart for Alabama Chief Justice. Paid for by Sarah Stewart Campaign, 2029B, Airport Boulevard, Mobile, Alabama, 36606.
Don't settle for what Uncle Sam wants to give you. Get to Toyota of Montgomery today, where we'll double your tax refund. This month only, Toyota of Montgomery will double your money. If you have a $1,000 refund, we'll double it to $2,000. $2,000 is now $4,000. $5,000 is now up to $10,000. It gets even better because Toyota of Montgomery has incredible incentives on our new inventory, like the new 2024 Toyota Camry LE, now only $299 a month, or the best-selling new 2024 RAV4 LE. It's only $349 a month. That's double your refund money up to $10,000 plus save on new Toyotas and more for your trade. Get to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Dealer will match tax refund up to $5,000 for dealer discount off TSRP. Example, 2024 Toyota Sequoia Hybrid Capstone 4-wheel drive in-transit vehicle. TSRP $84,172. Camry MSRP $30,958. RAV4 MSRP $28,214. 12,000 miles per year for 39 months with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit on sealed new Toyota purchases. Select new Toyota purchases plus taxes, tag, title, and $999 doc fee. Offers end 2/29/2024.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge.
Vote for my mommy!
Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. Talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, I am doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing all right.
It's a Friday afternoon. It feels like it's 78 out here. Beautiful. Can't wait for the weekend. And just, yeah, nothing to complain about.
Been a good work week, would you say?
This week has been a blur. I mean, absolutely blur. We were down there measuring the bowling alley a little while ago, and my eyeballs are still going around in circles from that crazy-looking carpet.
I forgot about bowling alley.
That's
carpet.
good stuff.
That's good stuff.
You don't need to listen. If you don't drink or do drugs, just go to the bowling alley and look at the carpet for 20 minutes.
Might have some flashbacks.
It'll give you the same effect, I'm sure. So, listen, seriously, if y'all need flooring, call us at 285-8117. If you're in Pike Road, Wetumpka, Auburn, Greenville, Clanton, wherever, we will come out, give you that free measurement. Don't charge a dime to come out. Bring samples with us if we need be. And within a week or two, you got a new floor down. We make it so simple, but it has to start with you calling us at 285-8117.
Again, that number for Prattville Carpet, 285-8117. And when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio. Bonus points if you mention the crazy carpet at the bowling alley.
Guys, y'all have a wonderful weekend.
You too, Ray.
You too, Ray.
And gentlemen, y'all too. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too,
Thank
bro.
you, both of you. Hopefully we'll be a little more like high energy next week.
We'll give it
I blame you. We feed off of you like a succubus.
Oh, no, I'm happy to take the credit.
There you go.
Or the blame or what. Hey, Greg Budell at Happy Hour. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV